starts. NICHOLLS, the preseason favorite of the Southland. Mississippi Valley State was picked last in the SWAC East preseason poll, each looking for something to prove. What catches your eye about this matchup?
Well, I'm looking for one thing today. The next effort is the most important. That's from the coach's standpoint. I'm looking at effort. I'm looking at energy. I'm looking to see how these staffs are going to get these guys over this 0-3 start and see what they're going to do today. It'll show real quick in the first quarter.
As a coach, there's a lot of things you can look for to try to pick up your first win. What catches your eye as the biggest keys today for each team?
And here are your keys that you're going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for. The Delta Devils have got to get their playmakers into space. They got to be good on defense. They've got to tackle. The Colonels got to reestablish that vaunted running game that they have. They've got to win on first down. If they win on first down, those third down conversions will come easier for their offense.
NICHOLLS' rushing attack that they've been known for so long struggled last week in a 34-7 loss to Sacramento State. There's Kendrick Wade, second season coaching his alma mater. He played wide receiver from 2003 to 2005. That 2005 season, one of just 2 winning records they've had over the last couple of decades. They have not had a winning season since 2006, the year after he graduated. So trying to bring them back to prominence. And meanwhile, Tim Rebowe, you can't say enough about the job he's done in Thibodaux. Yeah. A 3rd conference championship a year ago, a 4th FCS playoff appearance. And oh, by the way, they're very tough to beat at home.
And he recruits locally. He gets all his guys from Louisiana, 93 of them on his roster. Does a great job recruiting, bringing those guys in to Thibodaux.
Mississippi Valley won the toss. They elected to defer, so they'll kick it off in the whites. NICHOLLS wearing the red with the gray pants and gray helmets. And we are just about set. Marco Jovicic will send it away to a couple of dangerous return men for the Colonels. And this is going to be the explosive run back. And up across the 30 to the 35-yard line. That's Miguel Brock. And so we'll see the NICHOLLS offense onto the field first. Led by Pat McQuaid. So far this season, he has not thrown an interception, but he struggled last week. Part of that was the offensive line just not holding up very much, allowed 7 sacks.
Yeah, Sacramento State got after him last week, had some breakdowns up front. Timmy said he had to fix that this week. We'll see.
They'll throw it on first down, and McQuaid now looking to run. And he slides shy of the 40. They'll spot him right around the 37, 38-yard line on a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, I like the slide. Tim Rebowe in his conversation this week, I asked him about Pat McQuaid. He said, well, he's batting about 333, right? You baseball guys understand that. Doing some stuff real good, some stuff you still need to work on. Baseball slide kind of reminds you of that.
On second down and 6, McQuaid with all kinds of time, rifles over the middle, and he's got Quincy Brown, his top target on the young season, up to the 39-yard line of MVSU.
Yeah, that's one thing that has been happening very good for this NICHOLLS offense. Quincy Brown, he's been spot on, hasn't dropped balls, always around the ball when the ball's being thrown. He's being spotted a lot, and he's catching the ball.
Gain of 24 yards. Fresh set of downs for the Colonels at the 39. McQuaid to throw again. Quick out route. And that one is complete to Christian McNeese, redshirt freshman from Lafayette. He's got 2 catches on the young season. That's number 3.
Yeah, nice little out route. A lot of cushion there given by the defensive back, Kobe Bird of Mississippi Valley State. If you're going to give that type of cushion, take what you're given.
Well, the Colonels did not produce an offensive score last week. Only points came via pick 6. And this is Miguel Brock breaking a tackle. He's loose, and he is gone. Touchdown, NICHOLLS. Miguel Brock, the freshman from Pensacola, Florida. We were told he's dynamic and explosive, and he just took that one 33 yards to the house for his first career touchdown.
Well, you saw 2 moves in there at the line of scrimmage. You saw jump cut left, jump cut right. All of a sudden, he's at the second level, and he is gone. Great vision, great footwork. Tim Rebowe said we were going to see him this week because he's been practicing so well. We just saw it.
You saw that burst of speed. Extra point is up and good for Gabe Showalter. And Brock, again, a true freshman from Pensacola, Florida. in his first collegiate carry, takes it to the house. Great start for NICHOLLS. Not even 2 minutes in, they lead 7-0. An impressive start for the NICHOLLS offense. Very quick work to get 7 points on the board. True freshman Miguel Brock, his first career carry is a house call of 33 yards. We were told he'd be involved, partner. He got involved right away.
Yeah, immediately. 2 cuts in zone. Boom. Drop the mic, right?
Kickoff is away from Showalter. Couple dangerous return men on this team for MVSU, including Carrick Ross, who is driven out of bounds on a nice special teams tackle by Ethan Lee. And MVSU will set up shop right around the 21-yard line. Now, it's a 2-quarterback system. They've got a big 6'3", 240-pound sophomore in Tijerian Williams, and then a sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, 5'11", 195 in Jaden Sisk. We will see both of them plenty here today.
Yeah, he likes a 2-quarterback system. We're talking about Kendrick Wade, the head coach of Mississippi Valley State. They both bring a lot of things to the table. He told us it just depends a lot of times on how the game is progressing, what the defense is giving them as far as their techniques. We'll see both here today, as you said, partner.
Jaden Sisk begins alone in the shotgun. Keep an eye on Rembert in 6 and Ross in number 13, their 2 top targets. That throw is deflected and nearly intercepted right through the hands of Hayden Shaheen. It was knocked away by Lawrence Sullivan Jr. That could have been catastrophic for the Delta Devils.
Well, 2 things. Lawrence Sullivan Jr. drives the ball nicely, right? Breaks on the ball, gets a tip in the air, tips it up, and then it's almost picked by Shaheen. Look at the drive right there by Sullivan. Oh, my goodness. Shaheen wants that back,
yeah,
right?
Shaheen's got 1 career interception, came in 2021. Sisk hands off. This is Zamarion Kendall, and he is driven down after a short gain of about 3. So it brings up 3rd down and long, and this is just not where this MVSU offense wants to live today.
Yeah, it's hard to operate like that. The thing you're going to see out of Sisk, he likes to throw the football. He can make all the throws vertically as well as horizontally, but he also does a nice job running the zone reads. So look for him when he's in there, talking about number 1, Jaden Sisk. See if they run zone read.
3rd and 7. NICHOLLS rushing 4, pressure coming, and down he goes. Zach Bernard with help from Alex Villavaso. Bernard got there first to drive him down. It's a big sack and a big loss, and a punt upcoming.
Can't hold on to the ball that long. Bang! There comes. Right off the edge, if I'm not mistaken, that was Delmato also was in on that, makes the hit, and then Bernard cleans it up. Villavaso also gets a piece. Credit all three of those guys for that sack. Hit him so hard the helmet came off.
How about Dalmato, a guy who was a running back his first 3 years on campus? You give him a sack there, that's already a couple on the young season.
Yeah, shout out to Archbishop Hannon High School alum on the North Shore. He's a good football player.
And we got a flag flying pre-snap on the punts. Alex Davis was ready to boot it away to Terry Matthews. Referee today is Maury Collins. So that'll back up MVSU a little bit more.
Colonel should be sitting pretty with nice field position.
Alex Davis has done a good job. He's third in the SWAC in punt average, about 42 per punt. But this is a tall task from your own end zone. And that's off the side of his foot. And he shanks it out of bounds into the NICHOLLS bench. Well, can't draw up a worse start if you're Mississippi Valley State. Can't draw up a much better one if you're the Colonels. They'll have plus field position up 7-0 early in the first quarter here at home.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
I have always enjoyed an active lifestyle, but the pain in my knees wore me down. The pain I experienced made it difficult to stand for even more than 5 minutes at a time. I was so tired of telling my grandsons, I can't play now, Nana's knees hurt. Then I had both knees replaced at Memorial, and now I'm back doing what I love, making pasta with my husband, hiking, and spending time with my grandkids. Next stop, Yellowstone. This is my life without joint pain.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nicholls State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nicholls State University.
Great starting field position for the Colonels at the 45 of MVSU after a punt that only went about 27 yards. Empty set 5 wide for McQuaid, and he's got a completion. And he goes underneath that time. And that is reeled in by Jason Barnes Jr., redshirt sophomore from Baton Rouge out of U-High, another U-High product on this roster.
A lot of U-High products all over the state of Louisiana playing at all these universities. Great program up there in Baton Rouge.
And again, as my partner mentioned earlier, 93 Louisiana natives, 10 are from Baton Rouge, so a bunch of guys having a true homecoming in that game against LSU a few weeks back. On second down and 3, McQuaid rifles over the middle. That's incomplete. He was looking for McNeese. And that'll bring up third down. Well, this is where you want to be in third down and short.
Well, it brings everything on your play sheet into call, right? You can run the RPO, you can run the play action pass, you can possibly run the ball. You know, it all depends on what you want to do, and all depends on the front you're going to get from your opponent.
It's been a struggle so far on third down for the Colonels. They fake the jet sweep to Matthews, dumping off to Negrado, the tight end, and he's got enough for a first down. He burrows ahead, and he is inside the 35 to the 34. So they needed 3, they got 4 yards. Negrado, who has been so sure-handed over the course of his career.
Hey, sure-handed, and also has been a great blocker. Little play action, boot action there. Negrado just delay slips out into the flat. They drop him the ball, and he fights hard and pick up the first down.
Colin Guggenheim checks in to the backfields. And this is some trickeration and right up the gut. It's a touchdown. A very quick house call for the Colonels. And they're up 13-0.
It's all the cross action and the motion. We've seen it in the past 2 series. What that does is gives eye candy to the defense. If you take your eyes off your keys and you start looking at the cross motion and the zip motion coming one way and going back the other, that's what ends up happening. You get gutted right up the center of your defense.
Ian Rodrigue, the redshirt freshman from Thibodeau, with his first career score. So you got 2 touchdowns by 2 guys carrying the ball for the first time in their careers, both resulting in scores. How about that? A Thibodeau kid getting a touchdown in his first home game this season. 14-0 NICHOLLS. Two drives, 2 touchdowns for NICHOLLS in its home opener here in 2024. They come from 2 guys making their first collegiate appearances as far as getting a carry. Both result in house calls of 30-plus yards.
Wow, Ian Rodriguez is smiling big right here from Thibodeau, hometown boy.
5A All-State honorable mention in high school as a senior. He played baseball as well, where he's all-districts. And Carrick Ross is driven down, and a nice tackle from Shamar Carter. Well, the Colonels up 14, not even 5 minutes in. I mean, if you're Mississippi Valley right now, how do you stop the bleeding and get something going on offense now?
I think what you've got to do is you got to get to your bread and butter. You know, talking to Coach Wade this week coming in, some of the things that he had to do was get his guys into space. I like to see him start using their formations to try to spread the NICHOLLS defense out to get those guys one-on-one possibilities in space against the NICHOLLS defense and then get the ball in their hands.
So this time it is Tigerian Williams, and the QB draw is taken down by Eli Ennis. It's a NICHOLLS defense that has shown flashes of brilliance early on in this season. Yeah, you look at records and sure they're 0-3, but I mean, for the most part, the job they did against the run against LSU was remarkable, and Ennis has been a big part of that.
Right, Ennis is one of the best players in the Southland Conference, right? He's the tackle leader for the Colonels. He seems to be everywhere. You know, I mentioned his name the other day to Tim Rabo, and all Tim did was smile and say, man, is he playing well.
He's already got 34 tackles now on the season. He's got 17 more tackles than anyone else in the Colonels. 2nd down and 8. Jaden Sisk the throw. And he's got a completion out to Nathan Rember. That is their top target. He's the leader in the SWAC. He's tied for 9th in the FCS. He reels in about 7 catches a game. That goes for 14 and a first down.
Hey, great route. Runs the sticks, sits down in the zone at the curl. He's the guy he wants to get into. Coach Wade wants to get into space. He gets him into space right there. Result is a first down.
Kendrick Wade was a wide receiver at MVSU. They might make no mistake about it. That's the strength of this team. And they loft a pass to the flat that goes over the head of Rembert. You had another guy in the area there as well, in Malik Antwine, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they were trying to drop that to Rembert off the fake. He would have been out in space right there. Just not a good pass by Williams, just overthrows him. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to see from MVSU. Getting those guys out there, get the ball in their hands, and try to create one-on-one situations.
Sisk, a sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, on 2nd and 10. Long throw to the sideline, incomplete. Looking that time for Tenoris Brookins II. 3rd year with the program. He's a grad student from Macon, Mississippi, and it brings up 3rd and long.
Brookins wide open, sitting right under the zone. Just the pass was not on target.
Well, Mississippi Valley on the young season, converting 3rd downs at about a 38% rate. But when you're in 3rd and long against this Colonel defense, that can spell trouble.
That's the reason why first down is so important, partner. You got to get something nicely done on first down to create shorter 3rd and manageable situations.
Trips to the bottom. Sisk on a slant, and that is dropped. Looking for Brookins again. And incomplete that time, and they'll have to punt.
Past 3 weeks, MVSU has been struggling with the drop pass. Good look at it right there. I think that ball might have been tipped right at the line of scrimmage on the slant route.
And I don't know if he's got a first down if he makes that catch, but it at least brings up a 4th and short where you can think about going for it. Instead, you got a punt.
Well, he was in open space. You hit him in the chest with that ball. You catch that football. He might have been off and running too. So we will never know.
So Alex Davis will punt again. First one went just 28 yards. Terry Matthews awaits at his 25. And this is much better than the first one. Matthews with room to run. He's going to go laterally around the 20. Makes a man miss. He's at the 30. Little stunner step and lowers the shoulder to about the 36-yard line. Some pushing and shoving along that NICHOLLS sideline afterwards. So again, good field position for the Colonels. They are dominating in that regard early on in this game.
Yeah, so far in all 3 phases, right? Nice job on the return there by Terry Matthews. Doing a great job defensively. And then, like we said, they're like fast attack offense, man. Bang, bang, they're in the end zone automatically.
So Pat McQuaid in this offense back to work. Marquise Albert in the backfield. Again, still no Jalen Spears. Reigning Southland Player of the Year has been out now the last 3 weeks. Hoping to get him back shortly before the start of conference play. McQuaid in the flat, that is Albert. Another shifty runner for this team. He's just across the 40 to the 41-yard line on a gain of about 4.
Getting a 3-deep coverage out of Mississippi Valley. A basic 1-high read for Pat McQuaid. What does he do? He looks at one receiver, dumps off to another, which was Albert. Albert has a nice pickup.
They motion the jet sweep action again. Here's Guggenheim. Finds a seam outside that left tackle area and gets a first down. We were wondering about Samaj Scott, the left tackle for NICHOLLS, coming in. He is playing. One guy that is not playing today, Reed Lambert, their starting right tackle, is out. And that means some more action for a redshirt freshman in Hamza Rahman. So keep an eye on that NICHOLLS line today.
Yeah, a lot of guys banged up, not only for the Colonels, but also for MVSU. You know, you've gone through a tough stretch the last 3 weeks for both teams.
Guggenheim, big seam again, and he lowers the shoulder for 8 more. Well, Guggenheim, we saw what he's capable of in that game in Baton Rouge a few weeks ago. I mean, that's as good a performance as you'll see from a running back.
Yeah, he busts that 67-yard run.
Yeah, to start the third.
Yeah, to start the third quarter. Boy, they had a camera shot of him on the boundary. He's got his face all painted up and everything else, and he's just grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, the Colonels last week in Sacramento, 31 carries for 10 total yards. A lot of that yardage, of course, lost via sacks. Off play action. McQuaid with time, and he's got a diving catch with Quincy Brown. He truly is reeling in everything right now thrown his way. Gain that time of 17.
Yeah, he's got a lot of glue on his hands. He's not dropping many the past 3 weeks. And he also has a knack for getting open. One thing Quincy Brown does, he runs great routes. He can read the zone. He can read the man. He knows exactly where to make his cuts, where to sit down in the zone, and to run away from man. He seems to be in sync with Pat McQuaid.
From the 30. On first down, it's Guggenheim. And there's a better job in run defense. First man on the scene was Deshari Keith, one of the stars on this defense, that extra defensive back, kind of hybrid linebacker position.
Yeah, they call it the star position. It's it could be a rover, a star, a linebacker. All depends on your point of view from what type of name you want to give him. Last week he comes off 6 tackles and 2 pass breakups, right? So he had a nice game last week against Lamar.
And they put Lamar actually a couple weeks ago. Here's McQuaid. Pumps once. Wide open man is Negrado. Oh, and he overshot him. That was a walk-in touchdown. Had McQuaid hit it, and he just overthrew his tight end, it would have been an easy 6.
Little out and up, double move. Negrado runs the out, kind of sells it for a second, and then he breaks vertical. Oh, the ball, a little bit more air under it would have given Negrado the opportunity to run underneath it, and he would have been on the scoreboard.
McQuaid was so good against LSU, 12 for 16 in that game, very efficient. 20 for 31 against Sac State a week ago. Been a little bit up and down for him early on in the season. Here's third down and 9. Against a 3-man rush. And there's Quincy Brown again. Just finds a seam in the middle, and he breaks loose for 11 yards. Another first down. Good job there by McQuaid to settle back in.
Well, he replaces the blitz. Mississippi Valley brings the blitz. There comes the blitz right there, and watch Quincy just sit right down in the middle of the field where the linebackers have vacated. Like I said, he is in sync with his quarterback right now. McQuaid finds him and drops the dime on him.
McQuaid now 6 of 8 to the 18-yard line. Motion man is Matthews. Fake the jet sweep there. Guggenheim with room. Makes a cut, and he's tugged down inside the 10. He's right near goal to go. Maybe about a half-yard shy. Give him 9 yards, and the Colonels are going to be very close to knocking on the door of first down and goal.
Well, being gap sound was one of the things that MVSU wanted to be on defense. Right there they weren't. They got washed off to the Nichols right, and what does Guggenheim do? He reads it perfectly and makes one jump cut, comes back to the left side, and he's all of a sudden in the secondary.
A second down and a yard. It's really like a half yard to get first and goal for Nichols. Guggenheim the back. They fake it to him. Slant Matthews, incomplete. That's good coverage on the play, Deshari Keith. So we saw him make a tackle in the run game, and now good coverage there, preventing a touchdown to Matthews.
Deshari Keith did a nice job getting underneath the slant on the RPO. Run pass option, fake the ball, read your defensive key. If he's open, you throw it. If not, you give the ball on the run. He was open for a second until Deshari Keith did a nice job getting under the slant.
Third down and a yard. Again, if the Colonels can get a yard, they've got first and goal. Guggenheim the back, extra tight end, and Nathan Hebb. It is Guggenheim, right up the gut, and over left guard. He's got an easy first down. Helmet flew off somebody. One of the defenders on Mississippi Valley, Obi Orinzi. He'll have to come off for a play, but Guggenheim chugging along, first and goal for the Colonels.
Look, he's a load to bring down. I tell you what, he runs so hard. One of the things MVSU wants to do is tackle better. They've got their work cut out for today, tackling number 19.
I mean, you think about the career Guggenheim's put together, it's not insurmountable to think he could pass Julian Gums as the all-time leading rusher with the Colonels.
Second on that list, if I'm not mistaken.
Miguel Brock back in. McQuaid looking, he's scrambling. He's going to try to run for it. Now throws it late. It's caught for a touchdown. 3 Colonel drives, 3 scores. Quincy Brown in the receiving end this time. His second touchdown of 2024, and it's a 20-0 Nichols lead late in the first.
Well, partner, McQuaid makes that happen. Everything's covered up. He works out to his right, stays behind the line of scrimmage. Watch his eyes stay downfield. Work, 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 work. Know where you're at on the field. Have a sense of direction. Great job by Quincy Brown working to an open spot. And like I said, he is in tune with Pat McQuaid.
Brown had been targeted 24 times through 3 games. The most by 7 of any player on this Nichols team. Showalter extra point up and through. And Brown had transferred in a year ago after 2 years at TCU, making things happen again. He's had a great start to this one. How about 4 catches for 53 and a score?
Well, working hard there on the scramble drill was Quincy Brown. You practice that every week, right? Your quarterback gets in trouble. You have one person break long, one person break out, one person comes back to the quarterback. One of your receivers looks just for an open space to sit down. You're trying to give them all targets to be thrown to. Quincy Brown executes the scramble drill perfectly. McQuaid keeps it alive, and the result is another 7 points.
Remember, that's a kid who was a 4-star recruit. His size number 14 in Louisiana, coming out of Destrehan High. At a St. Rose. He chose TCU over Alabama, USC, Auburn, and Arkansas. Gives you a sense of the kind of high school recruit he was. A couple of injury-riddled seasons at TCU, but he's been back with a vengeance so far in Thibodeau. Kickoff to Ross, and he'll take it a couple of yards deep, and he's blowing up. Redshirt freshman from LaPlace partner. Bringing the boom.
Say, good tackle, forward tackle. Every coach likes to see that. That'll be bragged up on in the film session tomorrow. That's the way you practice tackling. That's the perfect form tackle. Great coverage. Again, Nichols winning all 3 phases of the game so far.
Well, MVSU did get a first down on their last offensive series, but it has been a problem early on. This is the starting offense for Mississippi Valley State. We talked about Williams and Sisk both taking snaps at QB. That wide receiver core is the one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, those are the guys that they want to get into space.
Williams is a true load. I mean, he's 6'3", 240 pounds, a physical specimen, a downhill runner. You gotta, takes a lot to bring a guy like that down.
Well, he's another running back there in the backfield. And look, you say 240. I mean, he's like a poor boy away from 250, right? I mean, I'm telling you, that is one big dude, and he is athletic.
Kendrick Wade, head coach of MVSU, and their OC, Eli Johnson, were raving about just his love for football, his dedication. Same with Jaden Sisk. Empty set with 5 wide. Sisk against the blitz, and he finds his man. That's Carrick Ross. Good short tackling by this Nichols defense early on. Marquis Brigetti out in coverage along with Ethan Ali. And there's that Nichols starting defense. And there are a bunch of guys who are out today. No Joe Mason, no Kershawn Fisher. Still Tyler Morton's their ringleader. He's not even playing right now.
Not even playing. A little banged up, as I said, but you're getting a lot out of guys like Alex Villavaso. Rasheed Lovelace continues to play well. That defensive line for Nichols is solid.
Jaden Sisk lofted into the sideline, and that's off the hands of Tenoris Brookins. Looked like a pretty good throw. It was good coverage from Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie did a nice job. Nice job staying in phase. Right next to him, able to get his hands in between the receiver's hands, knock that ball away. Look how he's in phase right there. Ooh, he had a chance to catch that ball. Eddie does a nice job at the last second raking it out.
Now, even if he catches that ball, I don't know if he gets a foot down. It's good coverage regardless, but pretty good throw from Sisk. And another punt now is coming from Davis. So he's having to punt for the 3rd time. His first 2 averaging 36. Pretty good considering the first one went only about 24 yards. And this one is much better. Terry Matthews backtracks to his 35. Room to run. He is into MVSU territory before he's tugged down around the 49-yard line.
A lot of green turf in front of him right there. Great job by the special teams unit of the Colonels punt return, setting up a nice hole for him to sprint through.
Here is a look at the Nichols offense. We talked about McQuaid and Guggenheim plenty, and that receiving core already doing some work. The offensive line is what you're keeping an eye on.
Oh, absolutely. All those guys right there. Hey, that is an experienced offensive line, but it is without Reed Lambert. Reed Lambert is out today with an injury. Look for a young redshirt freshman taking his position.
Yeah, Hamza Rahman.
Hamza Rahman.
Out of Baton Rouge, Scotlandville products. Screen pass complete, Jackson Dufresne. And he's wrestled out of bounds after a gain of about 6 by Eric Campbell. It's a MVSU defense that allowed 59 points a week ago. It was really 52 points because the offense had a fumble that was scooped up. And it's a couple weeks now where the offense has allowed a defensive touchdown by the opponent.
Yeah, that was against Murray State. Earlier I said Lamar, but it was Murray State that they had last week.
Yeah, Murray State put up 440 yards of offense on them a week ago in a 59-7 loss. Marquise Albert. Big hole there, another first down. I mean, Nichols is getting whatever they want on the ground right now. They're already over 100 rush yards as a team. It's been a staple under Tim Rebowe. It's been a club of 100-yard rushers. Here's the MVSU defense.
Yeah, those guys are challenged by their coach this week that they've got to tackle better. Watch Parham and Jones. That defensive line right there needs to stand up and bow their necks against this Nichols offensive line.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the run right now. Handoff Albert, big crease for him, and he spins inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. 12 more yards for Marquise Albert, and Nichols moving the ball at will in this first quarter.
At will. Tim Rebowe's always been high on Marquise Albert. That has always been in since he's gotten to the Nichols State Colonels here in Thibodaux. He's always had a lot of shake and bake, and Tim Rebowe's been extremely high on him.
We got some whistles here pre-snap, and a timeout called by Mississippi Valley.
First timeout, Mississippi Valley.
Warm day out there today. Probably call that timeout just to get their guys a sip of water, right? Even though it's hot up in northern Mississippi, also up in the valley area.
Yeah.
You know. So
Itabena, Mississippi.
Itabena, Mississippi. I couldn't think of the name real quickly off the top of my head.
48.5 seconds to play in this first quarter. And Nichols up 21-0 and knocking on the door of another possible score. A couple of 0-3 teams, and the Colonels have come out and hopped on the Delta Devils early on. This is only the second all-time meeting between these two teams. Nichols won 41-26 26 years ago in a game that was actually played at Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans.
Yeah, fabled high school stadium in the city. Tad Gormley has hosted a ton of things, including the 1984 Olympic trials, right? So built in 1939 as a part of the WPA program. A lot of high school teams played in there. I coached in there for a number of years, and I played in there.
First down from the 23-yard line. Albert's the running back, handed off to him. He's got another seam, and he bulldozes ahead down to the 16-yard line. 7 more yards. I mean, they're just eating off chunk play after chunk play on the ground.
Yeah, this Nichols offensive line is mauling the MVSU defensive line right now. Like you said, they're having their way with anything they want to do on the run game.
Taking out 3 weeks of frustration right here offensively in this first quarter. They'll run it again. Marquise Albert. That little jump cut looked like he's close to a first down. So he'll be about a half-yard shy. It'll bring up third down, and we'll see that when the second quarter begins. Nichols knocking on the door of another score. They've had the ball 4 times. They've scored 3 touchdowns. They're trying to put it into the end zone again. How about Miguel Brock? First collegiate rush, first collegiate touchdown. Ian Rodriguez the same, and then Quincy Brown. All Colonels in the first here at home. Well, the Colonels have lost back-to-back home openers. They're looking to flip that thing around in a big way today, up 21-0 as we start the second quarter. This is a 3rd down and a yard. Ball at the 14. It is Guggenheim. He's got room, and he's got 1st and goal. So Guggenheim easily working outside that right tackle. And as we start off the second quarter, more rush yards for the Colonels, who racked up 131, partner, in that first quarter. They averaged 11 yards per carry.
Well, you can see the offensive line is just decimating Mississippi Valley's defensive line. And when that's going to happen, you're going to have that 131 yards in the first quarter, right? I mean,
motion man is Scrappy Osby. Handed off to Guggenheim, right up the gut, and he walks into the end zone again. Another Nichols touchdown. It's 27-0. And Guggenheim, for the 29th time in his career, is into the end zone. Now tied for the 5th most rushing touchdowns in Nichols history.
Again, that offensive line just knocked everything in white back into the end zone, which allowed Guggenheim to walk.
Extra point is good. Guggenheim, career touchdown 29, ties him with Josh Sun for 5th all-time on the list. A 28-0 Colonels lead early second quarter.
I have always enjoyed an active lifestyle, but the pain in my knees wore me down. The pain I experienced made it difficult to stand for even more than 5 minutes at a time. I was so tired of telling my grandsons, I can't play now, Nana's knees hurt. Then I had both knees replaced at Memorial, and now I'm back doing what I love, making pasta with my husband, hiking, and spending time with my grandkids. Next stop, Yellowstone. This is my life without joint pain.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking-glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nicholls State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nicholls State University.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package for Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Well, it has been a dominant performance in this first half by Nichols. They lead 28-0. They've had the ball 4 times. They have scored 4 touchdowns, courtesy of 4 different players. Colin Guggenheim, the latest, 29th career rushing score, tied for the 5th most in Colonel history. Gabe Showalter sends it away. Carrick Ross will let that sail about 4 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback. So 14-21 to play in the first half. 28-0 Nichols. If you're MVSU right now, you're just trying to find something.
Anything, right? Let's just go back to our bread and butter. Let's get ourselves better, right? I mean, that's what you do as a coach. Guys, let's don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't even look at the scoreboard. Let's get ourselves better. You take care of what you have to do. You win with your job, and we'll get better as an offense, defense, and special teams, thus makes our team better.
Total yardage so far, Nichols has racked up 224 yards on their 26 plays. MVSU 18 yards on 11 plays.
That kind of says it, doesn't it?
I mean, there's a lot of numbers that are one-sided right now in favor of the team up 28-0. It was always going to be a tall task for MVSU, but boy, they are fighting an uphill battle right now. Jaden Sisk from the 25, and that is picked off. Jake Delmato. He's got room and some blockers, and he's down to the 15. His first career interception, in addition to the sack he had earlier. How about the job he's done flipping the defense? It's as if he's done his whole life.
Well, that's called athleticism, right? When you see that as a coach, you got to get him on the field. So if he's a running back in a deep running back room, which I've talked about already, well, then you got to start looking someplace else. You get him on the special teams, and then you move him over to defense, and he has definitely filled a void.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Intercepting team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the interception stands. They call a blindside block against Nichols. Instead of the ball being at the 15, it'll back it up to the 30. But watch the job again by Delmato, first career pick.
Yeah, he gets up in the air. Is that athleticism?
Well, we knew he had pretty good hands as a running back.
Right, now he knows how to run, and there's the block backwards right there in the last second. If you saw it, you can't block back towards your own end zone. That is an NCAA rule. You're going to get flagged for that every time. Delmato is an athlete. Had to get him on the field. That's what Tim Rebold told us.
Well, Delmato, as a running back for 2 years, never scored a touchdown. He almost scored his first touchdown on defense. Could have run that one home. Nichols again in plus territory to start things off after the turnover. A bad snap. Goes over the head of McQuaid. He's going to slide to it. And a good job to fall on top of it at the 48-yard line. And, boy, that could have been dangerous. Now, that has been one of the issues Nichols has had. Not necessarily always the center snapping. Evan Roussel usually is sure-handed as it gets, but the long snapping at times has been a problem. Now again, they're rotating some linemen in there right now, and you can see that's Jacob Johnson who's getting some work now, the redshirt freshman from New Orleans. So Roussel is a 4-time All-American. Typically, you won't see that. Right,
and when you're getting those new guys in there, it's just kind of, they've got to work out the kinks and the nerves.
McQuaid to the sideline. Oh, what a catch by Quincy Brown. He's got some extra stickum on those gloves or something. I mean, that guy, his hands are just unbelievably good. That's a 5th catch. He's now got 70 yards in the first half.
As advertised, right? I mean, I've harped on it back in the first quarter about how good his hands are. They are excellent here today. They've been excellent so far all season.
This will be 3rd down and 15. Remember, they lost about 25 on that bad snap, plus the penalty. McQuaid, and the crosser is Matthews. He's driven down. The ball came loose. He might have been down already. MVSU saying they have it. Right around the 26-yard line. Let's wait and see. And it is going to be MVSU football. Well, that's a mistake by a very sure-handed receiver in Matthews. The run after the catch results in a fumble. Let's see who jarred it free. That's a nice play there by the safety. The corner, Charlie Williams Jr., actually.
As he came down, he looks like he came down on top of the defender, and the ball was ripped out.
Taz Marshall comes up with the recovery, and MVSU forces a turnover. 12:44 to go in the second, 20-0 Nichols. look at that last turnover.
Yeah, another look, and usually sure-handed Terry Matthews just couldn't hold on to the ball. Taz Mitchell rips it out. This could be the spark MVSU needs to get something going.
And Charlie Williams forces the fumble. They go double reverse, and now a pass, and they lofted sideline. Lawrence Sullivan was there, but he was out of bounds. So he caught it, but it won't go down as a clean interception. Oh, he was right on it, and he knew it too. He nearly tiptoed it for an incredible pick.
It's kind of like a fish that is bearing in on a lure, right? He sees that lure out in front of him, and that's exactly what he do. He beat it in on that pick, just caught it out of bounds. Boy, and he was upset about that. He knew he had it, too.
The teams have exchanged turnovers the last couple of drives. MVSU looking for some points. 2.5 minutes into this second quarter. Sisk pumps, lofts, and that is right into the arms of Ethan Lee. It's a Colonel interception on back-to-back series. This time, Ethan Lee, the recipient. Right into the breadbasket for him. His second career pick.
He's just sitting back there playing center field in a one-high coverage. Ball sails over the post route. These are the mistakes that MVSU have been making week in and week out, right? You just can't survive that way. The ball just sails about a yard too far, right into the hands of Ethan Lee. He gets a huge pick. Colonels are back in business again at midfield. Their field position, starting field position all day long for every one of their drives has been fabulous.
Well, Sisk had thrown 1 interception and 50 passes entering today. He's thrown 2 picks in his 10 attempts today. And they've come on back-to-back drives. Miguel Brock somehow spun around a couple of tacklers, and he turns nothing into something. Boy, is this kid electric or what? Tim Rebo and offensive coordinator Rob Christfeld may have very well found something, and we got pushing and shoving and extracurriculars along the sideline. That looked like a very angry defensive back in Charlie Williams Jr., who was pushing and shoving around.
Well, you've got to control your poise, right? You got to play the game with poise, and you can't have all the extra shenanigans going on. That's going to hurt your team even worse than where you are. But going back to...
He got 5 yards in that play.
Right. Going back to our new find at running back, Mikael Brock, number 22. He's got what you call shake and bake, baby. And he can shake and then he can bake it.
He is explosive. McQuaid on 2nd down and 5. Feels the pressure, gets out of there, lofts it sideline, and he throws it into the MVSU sideline. And I'm not sure who reeled that one in. I was thinking for a moment it might have been Kendrick Way, but it was one of his assistants. I'll tell you what, you're not surprised at one bit when one of those guys in the staff makes a great catch. They are basically wide receiver you over the years at Mississippi Valley State.
Hey, I made a few of those catches in my career.
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying these guys, if you look at the lineage of wideouts, when Jerry Rice starts the list, you got some pretty good ones.
And that's why I was taken up for all coaches everywhere. They can catch footballs.
3rd down, 5 to go for Nichols. 4 of 5 on 3rd down. Dump it off. Brock breaks a tackle, still moving forward. And he is going to be shoved back. That's well read by the MVSU defense. And there's a player down for the Delta Devils. Looks like one of their linemen is hurt. That is Donovan Parham, a 5th-year grad transfer from Robert Morris. He's a native of Lakeland, Florida. That's a key piece on that defense. Leads them with a couple of TFLs and a couple of sacks in the young season. We'll take a break. 28-0 Nichols in front of MVSU. Injury time out of the field here in Thibodaux.
Media timeout.
So Nichols will have to punt for the first time today. Kylan Dupree has come on with Greg Martin waiting deep for MVSU. And he'll let that punt sail over his head and lands into the end zone for a touchback ball to the 20-yard line. And so Mississippi Valley trying to find a way to get some points on the board, down 28-0. 11:35 to go in this second quarter. They have totaled on 14 plays 18 yards of offense. They've rushed for a net of 2 yards. They've passed it for a total of 16. It's just been a big-time struggle to get consistency offensively in this first half.
Well, trying to get something consistently done against a pretty good defense, right? So you can credit the Colonels on that, but they've got to find something that they can hang their hat on. And good football teams always have 2 or 3 run plays, 2 or 3 pass plays that are go-tos that you've got to be able to execute. That's what they've got to go to.
New quarterback in for Mississippi Valley is Reuben Lee. He's listed as their 3rd stringer. Transferred in from Norfolk State after a year at Hines Community College. He was 2 for 2 with a 48-yard touchdown pass against Tennessee State in their opener. Fakes the handoff, screen pass complete. And there is Nathan Rembert being driven down by Ethan Lee and Keontae Williams.
Getting the ball out there one-on-one is what they're good at. So they're searching for some consistent quarterback play, so they bring in their 3rd guy, get him some reps, which helps build depth before they start their SWAC conference next week. And running these little bubble screens and things of that nature, that's their bread and butter.
Reuben Lee is a native of Moss Point, Mississippi. Nichols bringing pressure. Sideline pattern, wide open man is Rembert. Did he get a foot down in bounds? Looked like he did. Well, that's a dime there from Reuben Lee. Caught it at the 45-yard line, gain of 25. How about that from a guy coming off the bench to deliver that kind of strike and a first down? Biggest play of the day for MVSU.
Hey, coming out of the bullpen, right? Double move by the receiver. It left the Colonel corner standing flat-footed. And it was a great dime dropped right there. They're in business right here. They need to come away with some points.
Terrific catch. Reuben Lee is now in trouble, and down he goes. Looked like Quentin Sharkey got there, and he did. First sack of the season for him, and a big-time loss of 8.
They've been giving up some sacks in the past 3 weeks, right? And again here today, they've given up a couple. Sharkey gets home with, a nice move on a blitz, gets past the offensive lineman, gets home for his first sack of the season.
They've allowed a couple of sacks today. They're allowing about 3.5 sacks a game. That's bottom 20 in the FCS in terms of most allowed.
Yeah, they've struggled with that, and they're struggling up front today.
It's actually a loss of 11 officially. Tijerian Williams, pass complete, so they go to the quick passing game that time. And that one reeled in by Greg Martin.
Yep, just get the ball out of your hands. Run stop routes, get the ball out of your hands quick, let your guys do something. Swing passes, the hitch routes. When you have an inexperienced offensive line, as MVSU has, you got to get your quarterback not to pat the ball and stand back there. They've got to get rid of it.
They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Williams throws, pass complete. It's shy of a first down. It goes to Tenoris Brookins the second. So they are 6 yards shy, right in midfield. See what they want to do now. I mean, you're down 28-0. I don't think you really have a choice considering where we are in this game. You got to punt the football.
Got to punt the football right here because they can't stop the Colonels.
Miguel Brock will go back there to receive the punt now. What hasn't this guy done in the first half?
I'd like to see him get his hands on this punt. I want to see what he can do with the ball in his hands in a special team situation.
He's got 2 carries for 38, including a 33-yard rushing touchdown on his first collegiate carry. And now we have a whistle.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Second charge, Mississippi Valley.
So MVSU takes their second time out of the first half with 8:31 to play in the second quarter. Down 28-0 and about to punt the ball away again to Nichols. This is the kind of get-right game that the Colonels were looking for. MVSU, not so much the case. Meanwhile, we were talking about Mississippi Valley State alumni. The list, of course, begins with Jerry Rice, but I'll tell you what, those are some names folks will know. Deacon Jones, the terrific career he had. Willie Totten, outstanding coach and quarterback. Ashley Ambrose as well. They got a lot of really, really good alumni in this program.
Look, I'm an old dude, and those guys were around when I was a kid. Deacon Jones, a member of the fearsome force of Los Angeles Rams, right? I mean, hey, two of those guys are in the NFL Hall of Fame.
And Deacon Jones, a Hall of Famer, two-time Defensive Player of the Year. Willie Totten, who of course was Jerry Rice's quarterback at MVSU before later coaching at MVSU. Last time they had a winning season, he was their head coach back in 2006. This is a booming punt. And he'll sail midway through the end zone for a touchback. Archie Cooley is someone that you were talking to me about earlier as well. I mean, that's a guy who was revolutionary in college football. And
well, look, as a young coach, you read articles, coaching articles, right, about, how to run a certain route play or line up in a certain defense. And Archie Cooley, back in the day at Mississippi Valley, was kind of the innovator of throwing the football at, the college level from the standpoint of they were coming off the bus throwing the football, right? I mean, he's the Don Coryell of college football.
And Ashley Ambrose, by the way, a New Orleans native. Miguel Brock, meanwhile, getting a catch and down the sideline. He shakes free and he's loose. Nothing but green grass in front. Miguel Brock, goodbye. 80 yards to the house. Is this kid electric or what? Second touchdown today. You don't have enough superlatives for it.
Get him the ball in space. Look at the blocking out front. I love to see those red jerseys on a body, and then he takes off. Nobody's catching this guy. We were warned. We were warned we were going to see this guy. And we have seen him in this first half. He is exciting. He is electric. They've got a great running back room.
I think the entire Southland Conference has now been warned. You thought you had to deal with Guggenheim and Spears. You better add this young guy in there as well. True freshman from Pensacola, Florida, has carried the ball 3 times today for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Actually, this was a catch, of course, that goes 80 yards for a score after his 33-yard rushing touchdown earlier.
Also, 3 missed tackles. One of the things MVSU wanted to come in today and get better at was tackling. 3 missed tackles on that explosive play right there.
He turned on the Jets, and he was loose in a hurry. In his high school career, he rushed for more than 4,000 yards. He had 57 total touchdowns. As a senior, he went over 2,000 all-purpose yards. MVP of the Pensacola East-West All-Star Game. But this guy, you get a chance with, again, Spears out and a few other guys hobbled. And well, when you take advantage of an opportunity like that, with the way that Tim Rebo and Rob Christoffel, Nichols' offensive coordinator, like to run the ball and like to have speed in the backfield, they may have found something golden in this kid. And it'll be a touchback. And we've got some shoving here after the play. Some pushing and shoving. Meanwhile, on the field, here's the Nichols program recap. A 4th Southland Conference title a year ago under Tim Rebo, his 3rd in 2023. 7 playoff appearances now. Their first one came back in 1986. You think about how long ago that was. Alex Villalvaso's dad, Brad, was on that team. And 8 straight seasons. It's consistency. It's a Southland record of 500 or better. The job that Tim Rebo has done year after year to find new ways to innovate, new ways to get better, and of course just continues to recruit this area so well.
Well, consistency is the key. His 2 coordinators, all right, Tommy Rybacki and
Rob Christoffel.
Rob Christoffel, both of those guys came in with him, and they have stayed with him. And when you're consistent, you're going to have these type of results.
Good catch by Kerrick Ross for 12. Yeah, those 2 guys, along with Brian Wallace, who's been on the staff the entire decade tenure as well. It's not often you see one coach stick around that long, let alone 3. Here's another look here. Oh, Eli Ennis was pretty close to knocking that one away.
Yeah.
Great adjustment by Ross.
And consistency is the key, and that's what has been brought here to Thibodaux. You could tell, great crowd, especially on the home side here today. They come out to support their Colonels.
Good job by Lawrence Sullivan coming in and helping out in the run game after the initial hit from Alex Villavaso. Midway through the second quarter, 35-0 the lead here for Nichols in their home opener. It's another late home opener for Nichols. Nothing new under Tim Rebowe. It's actually only the 5th latest home opener in Tim Rebowe's 10 years. Gives you a sense of how late they've started some of these seasons at home.
Well, they've got to go out on the road. They've got to play those games, right? Those are the games that help support the program and those sort of things. And Tim Rebowe and the staff has never backed down from playing the big names, right? LSU 2 weeks ago, Sac State they had a home and home with, which is one of the best teams in the FCS.
Williams against the blitz. Good job of moving away. He's got an open man downfield, and that one is picked off. Keontae Williams. It's a 3rd interception in the first half for the Colonels, and that's the first pick of Keontae Williams' career.
Well, Keontae Williams times that out perfectly, and Tigerian Williams holds on to the ball too long. His receiver was open, but he just patted the ball. He needed to get rid of it a little bit quicker. He might have had a reception right there by a wide open receiver, but holds on to it too late, allows the defensive back to break on the ball. It ends up in another interception for the Colonels.
How about 3 straight possessions ending in interceptions for the MVSU offense? And then Nichols back to work. From the 31, it's Guggenheim right up the gut. And he spins off a couple tacklers, and he drags about 6 guys with him for 11 and a first down. He is fun to watch run the football.
How often have we seen that, him carrying guys, right?
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, and it's remarkable to think about. You got an injured MVSU player down. Looks like someone in the secondary. That might be Eric Campbell. It's not, you start looking at the numbers. I mean, Guggenheim began the day about 700 yards behind Julian Gums for the all-time lead in rushing yards. He entered with 2,718. He's got 44 more today. I mean, you average it out over the course of a season where Nichols is going to play, 12 regular season games, 7 in the Southland. You now don't have to even average 100 yards per game if you're Guggenheim to try to get to that mark.
Right.
Now, now I should say Gums did lose most of a season due to injury, but still, what Guggenheim's put together, you start as the 4th string running back initially, and what he's done has been incredible.
Yeah, and he would tell you this. Credit those guys up front. This year, that offensive line is an experienced offensive line. They've got to stay healthy in order to help him achieve those particular numbers.
Guggenheim again. He breaks loose, 2nd level, and tugged down inside the 40 of MVSU.
Look, he's scary when he gets to that 2nd and that 3rd level, right? I mean, I would hate to be a free safety and have that bearing down on me. Look at the blocking up front. Everything in white just gets washed. Everything's gone at the 2nd level. Little jump cut brings him to the 3rd level, and then he gets knocked down from behind.
20 more yards. Nathan Hebb, tight end, gave him a great block as well. Guggenheim nearing another 100-yard game on the grounds. They fake the handoff. McQuaid throws. That's caught by Nathan Hebb, and that is his first catch of the young season. That's only his 5th career reception. Normally known as a guy doing what he did the previous play, laying a great block to lead the way for Gums. That time gets the catch for about 5.
Yeah, Nichols likes to use a lot of 21 personnel, right? 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and one of those tight ends that they like to use with Negrado is Hebb. Hebb's usually the lead guy on the counter schemes where they get him out and a round up on a linebacker.
McQuaid, and he's got Hebb again. How about back-to-back catches?
Same exact play again off of the zone read. They run the boot. Hebb slides through. He's the eye candy on the motion. He slips past the defender, and they just dump him the ball.
So he had 4 career catches in 39 games played entering today. He's got 2 on this drive in back-to-back plays. Brings up 3rd down and 2 for a Nichols offense that today on 3rd down is 4 of 6. Minus the 1 turnover on a fumble by Terry Matthews, they have pretty much been perfect offensively. Scored on 5 of 6 drives. Handed off. This is Corey Warren Jr. And he muscles ahead with 4 yards and a first down.
Corey Warren Jr. at a Pearl River High School, Pearl River, Louisiana. Like we said, He has made his mark so far this year in the first 3 games, has gotten a few carries, and you know, especially with the injury early in the season to Jalen Spears, he's been getting his opportunity to show his skills.
Speaking of a guy who had a great high school career, more than 4,600 rush yards at Pearl River for Corey Warren. So Colonels will let this clock tick down a little bit. Remember, you get the 2-minute timeout, new rule in college football.
Yeah,
at the end of each half.
It's interesting to see how these offensive coordinators are using that.
Warren again, right up the gut. Room to run, and he's gone. Another Nichols touchdown on the ground. Corey Warren Jr. from 31 yards out. His first career touchdown rush on the longest run of his college career, and it's 41-0 in the first half.
Yeah, Corey Warren Jr. has that burst of speed. I mean, it was self-evident coming out of high school, and he just showed you exactly what he had. He ran past the free safety like he was standing still.
Nichols has now rushed in this first half for 196 yards. Another extra point up and through. 42 zip. Another look.
Watch him run right past the free safety, right there. Ran right past the free safety. Free safety had a shot on him, but all of a sudden that angle diminished, right, because of Warren's speed. Warren takes it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, he was New Orleans area's leading rusher in his senior year of high school in 2019. Guys had to wait patiently as a running back here at Nichols. He's a fifth-year junior now, partner. It's only his second season actually playing because of a couple of redshirt years, and you think about how deep this running back room has been. As deep as it has been under Tim Rebowe, it may be the deepest we've ever seen, considering what we're starting to watch with Brock and Warren, and of course the player of the year in the conference a year ago in Spears. We haven't even seen him since week 1 against La Tech.
Yeah, La Tech in the first half, he turns his ankle on the boundary, and you know, he's going to have next week to also recover because of the off date that the Colonels will have.
That's a good point.
And but when he comes back, there's a lot of guys vying for those touches in that running back room. But look, you know, you look all around, not only in college, but also in the NFL, teams are using a lot of running backs. It's almost like running back by committee because they know how many they're going to have to use in a long season. You know, 17 games in the NFL, most college teams playing 11 or 12 now. High schools playing 10 plus playoffs. Those guys have even kind of caught on to the idea of playing a lot of running backs in, you know, their offenses. So it seems to be the thing that's going on. The value of the running back has gone up tremendously at all 3 levels of football.
A touchback delivered. MVSU will take over. Meanwhile, it's a Nichols offense that you minus their 2 defensive touchdowns, 2 pick sixes in their first 3 weeks. They'd scored 31 points on offense. They've scored 42 in the first half here today at home. Sometimes all you need is a little home cooking. And they get some more on defense here. Big Rasheed Lovelace right in the mix of things, bringing down Kendall.
Yeah.
Tugged him down for a loss of a couple.
Redshirt sophomore Rasheed Lovelace kind of came on scene last year, right? We got to see what this guy could do. You know, he's a big dude right in the middle. He's a run stopper in that 3-man front or 4-man front, depending on what type of personnel they bring in. And he's hard to move out of there.
Yeah, the Colonels have now dropped 40 in a first half for the first time since the spring of 2021. Pressure coming on Tijerian Williams. That's lofted up in the air and picked off by Hayden Shaheen. It's a 4th interception in as many series for the Nichols defense. This has been absolutely remarkable. Shaheen does have his 2nd career pick.
This is where the inexperience of these quarterbacks are showing. They brought blitz. The Colonels did off of Tijerian Williams' left side. He saw it coming. He should have known he didn't have the protection to pick it up. You just don't loft that ball up in the air. You have ball security. Lock that ball down. Go ahead, take the sack. Don't throw it out there because the result is going to be a pick, and that's exactly what happened. That's inexperience.
This is turning into a you get a pick, you get a pick, you get a pick situation.
And you get a pick. Yeah. But that's what inexperience does. It leads to turnovers.
McQuaid gives off. Guggenheim up the middle. And he's down to the 20. If you are curious, the record for points scored in a game at Nichols is 87. That came in the spring 2021 campaign against Lincoln of Missouri. So They are not quite on pace for that. I guess they are nearing being on pace for that with 42, and you're in scoring range again here late in the first half. They would be on pace with a score right here. Now that was against a Division II opponent. The run that time goes to Jaden Milton, redshirt freshman from Berwick, Louisiana. Guy's been battling a little bit of a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, the Colonels trying to hurry up here before the 2-minute timeout. They do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining as well. And now they're going to burn one.
Okay, well, that kind of shows the thinking of Rob Christopher. What are they trying to do? They're working on stuff right here. They're working on what are they doing in these situations at where the ball is at the 20-yard line with this clock time and knowing that the 2-minute timeout is coming up. This is something completely new for all college coordinators now. So they've got to learn how to use this extra 2-minute timeout to their advantage. So everybody is developing ideas in this young season. Remember, this is only the 4th game of the season, trying to figure out how they want to use this and how they want to call their offense. These are things we talked about the other day. I was kind of picking his brain about it because everybody has a different philosophy on what they're going to want to do. He was trying to get an extra play in with 17 seconds before they were going to call that timeout.
And you made that point on our call this week, and it's interesting because, again, you know you're going to get the timeout at 2 minutes.
Correct.
Running back is Milton. Top of your screen with trip receivers. McQuaid throws on the run. That's dangerous. Really one of the poor decisions he's made today, putting that ball up for grabs a little bit. Good play defensively by Kobe Bird, grad transfer from Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, throwing to his left, off balance, didn't throw off the proper foot. Ball kind of sails a little bit. He's lucky that wasn't picked.
Well, stop the presses. The Colonel field goal unit's coming out. So they will try what will be a 37-yarder. Gabe Showalter, so far this season, 1 of 2. He made a 38-yarder against Louisiana Tech late in the second quarter of the opener. Good snap and holds. And this kick is away and true. And the Colonels are officially on track for 90 points, which would break the school record for points in a single game. But, of course, long way to go in this one still. 2:07 to play in the second quarter. How about a 45 spot on the board for Nichols? Showalter money that time from 37.
Well, they got the opportunity to work on their field goal execution also. You know, I mean, you still got to work what you're doing even though you're up by 45 points, right? You've got to be able to make sure that all the little things are taken care of. I mean, they've got the bye week, then they go to Southern Baton Rouge, and then they enter against UIW conference play. That's here before you know it. You got to make sure everything is ironed out. So you're going to make sure you take all opportunities, not just to score points, but also to work the little things that need to be worked on in a game-like situation.
So Nichols, who came in with 31 offensive points in their first 3 games, has put up 45 in the first half. They actually had 45 total points as a team. If you include 2 defensive touchdowns, they've matched that number in the first half here today. The boot away from Showalter goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Mississippi Valley State will have it out to the 25-yard line. It has not been a pretty first half for Kendrick Wade and company. Kendrick Wade really is a great story. We talked about it early on, and obviously this has been a one-sided affair, but he's the 18th head coach in program history. He got named head coach December of 2022. He's a 2-time grad of the school, got both his bachelor's and master's degree, native of Cleveland, Mississippi, so he's from the area. He played wide receiver 2003 to 2005 there. One of his quarterbacks was actually one of his current running back's dads. DeFabian Fant, his dad Henry, played quarterback when Kendrick was a wide receiver there. But again, last winning season for this program in 06. Knew it wouldn't be an overnight success story. Have to build it from the ground up pretty much. And not much doing on the ground that time for Tigerian Williams. And that takes us to our 2-minute timeout.
That is a 2-minute timeout.
All I can tell you is this: when we 45-zip the lead for Nichols. A little bit of a subdued crowd right now because they've seen so much fireworks this first half. Settling for a field goal feels like a loss almost in a way. But it has been dominance for the Colonels. Tijerian Williams is near a first down. He's about a yard shy as we're under the 2-minute timeout in this first half.
There's a little flash of Tijerian Williams right there. Did you see Delmato hit him? Delmato bounced off of him, right? This is a big dude. They need to run this guy more, you know, with the zone reads and the quarterback ISOs and those sort of things. Get him rolling. I think if they get his juices rolling, the whole offense feeds off of him.
Well, they've thrown the ball 17 times. They've run it 9 times. Their longest carry so far has gone for 8. That was the play moments ago. This ball is batted up, almost intercepted again.
Ruling on the field.
Remember, this is a Colonel defense that's got 4 interceptions in the game already. And we're, again, still with 1:20 to play in the first half.
Almost had another one. Eli Ennis comes at blitz off to the weak side to the field right there. He gets up the minute the quarterback's hands come up. What do you teach your linebackers, defensive linemen to do? Get your hands up, get airborne, just try to get a piece of the ball. Eli Ennis does it right there.
So another punt will be upcoming here for Mississippi Valley. Terry Matthews awaiting. Alex Davis has been the busiest man perhaps for MVSU in this first half. After a rocky first punt, sends a bomb away here. And Matthews has to retrieve it around his 10. That's a very good boot, by far his best today. His long entering that one had been 50. And that's another 50-plus yarder down to the 10-yard line of Nichols. So the Colonels, unofficially, and we're doing our best to confirm right now, record for most points in a half got them down as 46. They've got 45 here, partner. Minute 11 to go, and you got 2 timeouts.
Well, nobody's going to tell Timmy that. I mean, right? I mean, but yeah.
Well, they're trying to score regardless.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show the manhandling, especially up front on the offensive and defensive line, what's taking place today for the Colonels.
They have racked up 382 yards of total offense in this first half. McQuaid with Milton next to him. They hand it off on first down. And he shakes outside and bounces clear. Another 15 yards on the ground for a Nichols offense that is over 200 yards rushing now in this first half. Jaden Milton that time, longest carry of his Colonel career.
Well, he backdoors it, right? Talking about being gap sound, that's one of the things that the MVSU defense wanted to be today. He got washed away. Nobody was fitting off the backside defensive end. Should have been a linebacker. You're not gap sound that when you allow your running back to bounce out the back door.
Another handoff to Milton, and he is tripped up at the 28-yard line.
Nice fill by the linebacker right there. That was number 30, a freshman DB that they had walked up on the line of scrimmage, Brandon Purefoy.
Don't say anything out of pocket.
I've seen a couple of good run stops, but they've been few and far between for a Nichols offense that on the ground is averaging right around 9 yards a carry. 2nd and 10, 30 seconds to play in this first half. It's Milton. Actually, this is Corey Warren Jr. breaking loose. So Corey Warren again had the first touchdown of his college career earlier, and this time showing some shiftiness.
Yeah, the Pearl River Flash, what does he do? He just waits for it to open up, right? He kind of sits right there for 1 second, just lets it develop, very patient, then he gets vertical.
Remember, clock stops on first downs inside 2 minutes at the end of the half.
Yeah, that's the new NCAA rule last year,
well,
right?
Looks like the Colonels are going to just take this thing to the halftime locker room, and Tim Rebo's already telling his team to go and run in there. So they're going to come up a point shy of the most in the first half in school history, but a sensational performance in front of the home crowd for the first time in 2024. Pat McQuaid and the Nichols Colonels lead Mississippi Valley 45-0. 6 touchdowns and a field goal. All Colonels in their home opener here in 2024. Halftime in Thibodaux, Nichols all over Mississippi Valley State in their home opener, 45-0. Second most points scored ever by the Colonels in a first half. Really, really impressive stuff all around. And we've got a special halftime guest, Jack Benjamin, joined by NICHOLLS Director of Athletics, Jonathan J.T. Terrell. Always good to see you, my man. I know getting a home game is one thing. Getting this kind of performance in front of the home crowd's another. Hey, talk about what you saw and what you see from this crowd in the first half.
I tell you what, man, just the tailgating and everything that's happened for Family Day has been unbelievable. And for the team to come out and play the way they did and represent the way they should has been unbelievable for the crowd, man. I mean, we've been gone for 3 weeks, but and so and we did this last year, and for them to come back, it's a good football team out there. And I know we've got some things, a few people hurt and stuff like that, but they're bouncing back, and other people are stepping up. Who's next?
Yeah, sometimes people get lost in looking at win-loss records, and you look at the 0-3, but look, we saw what happened at LSU and the way they battled in Baton Rouge. A little bit of a setback last week. The way they've come out and competed, and all these young guys have either gotten a first career interception or a first career touchdown. Been amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and I feel so happy for those young student athletes, man, to be able to get out there and make things happen, and to represent the way they should on Family Day, man. It's just to have alum back. I mean, the crowd has been unbelievable. I know you heard them, but they've been waiting for us to come home.
Well, we know that we got a stretch coming up in October where it's going to be 3 straight home games. Unfortunately, we get the bye week and then a couple more on the road before then. The support, though, from the community has been amazing, regardless if you're home or away. And you'll in a couple weeks, you go to Southern, be a lot of red and gray there, hopefully, too.
Yeah, it will, man. I mean, even our students have been calling me about, loading up buses so they can go. So it's been really exciting to see the excitement that's behind the football team because of what they did last year and to know that the team that they have this year. So excited to see. Coach Rebo won't say anything like that, but we have a really good football team, and I can't wait to see them continue to do what they do.
I wanted to ask you real quick, too, other fall sports going on as well. Soccer right now. We know the new facilities, volleyball. Those sports are going to be coming to ESPN Plus soon as well, too, so fans can watch. What excites you most about everything going on?
Well, I tell you, man, we had our second consecutive soccer win since 2018.
Yep.
That's big for Christy, Coach Helmers, coming as an alumni to come back home. I say home, she's from Australia, but to come back home to the place she played and to make a difference is awesome.
Right.
Volleyball has been on the streak. Listen, winning can be contagious, and I always say it starts with football and the fall sports, and looking forward to see what it does for women's and men's basketball.
Yeah, well, we certainly know the success that Coach Rebo's had here over the years. Always appreciate you taking the time, my man.
Always, buddy. Thank you so much.
All the best to you, and impressive first half for your Colonels.
Hey, go Colonels. Thanks, bud.
45-0 NICHOLLS after half a play. We'll come back, get you some more stats and highlights from an action-packed first half. Impressive stuff in the home opener for the Colonels here in 2024. A 45-0 halftime lead for Nichols on Mississippi Valley State's second ever meeting. The Colonels were a point shy of setting a new school record for points in a first half. Meanwhile, looking around the Southland Conference scoreboard, only one other game in action right now featuring a Southland team. HCU is losing 38-7 at UTSA. That one is early in the third quarter. Now a big one coming up tonight. South Dakota State, they have not been afraid of playing Southland opponents on the road. They are in Hammond to take on Southeastern tonight under the lights. That's going to be a big one at Strawberry Stadium.
Oh, no doubt. That's going to be fun. A lot of people might just, after the Colonels finish here, they might just jump in a car and drive up to Hammond to see that game. You know, those guys from South Dakota, North Dakota, they're always going on the road to play somebody.
Well, South Dakota State, two-time reigning FCS national champions, had their 30-game win streak snapped in week 1 by Oklahoma State. They've bounced back with a couple wins since. They are still ranked number 1 in the polls. LSU in a dogfight with UCLA right now, tied at 17 at the half, and Tulane knocked off UL earlier in a shootout, 41-33 in Lafayette. Halftime here in Thibodaux, more to come, 45-0. Colonels are rolling. Back at halftime in Thibodaux, it has been a statement in Nichols' home opener here in 2024. 45-0, Colonels leading the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State. Back with the coach, Wade Kaiser, Jack Benjamin with you. The school record, Wade, for points in the game for Nichols is 87. They're on pace to break that right now with 45 through a half play.
Well, they're having trouble. Obviously, MVSU is having trouble stopping Nichols, but it's all taking place up front on the offensive and defensive lines. The domination up front is phenomenal by the Colonels.
Really impressive on both sides of the football in that first half. We'll look back at some of those first half highlights. How about this young man, Miguel Brock? Not only the 33-yard touchdown run, also an 80-yard screen pass for a touchdown.
Oh, does he have some wheels, right? We were advertised by Tim Rebo about this young man. We've seen him. Look at this play by Pat McQuaid right here. Keeps everything wide open to a great touchdown pass to Quincy Brown. Look at one of the 4 picks right there by Jake Delmato right there, the running back turn linebacker.
Well, McQuaid was efficient in that first half, too. You look at what he did, 15 for 20.
Right. Here comes one more pick. Huge pick right there by Ethan Lee. And then look at this. This is self-described. He misses he evades 3 tackles. He's down the boundary. Great blocking out on the edge. And this young man is having a stellar day to his first huge getting a chance to play a lot in his career.
That pick from Keontae Williams, first of his career, and then Corey Warren Jr. scored the first touchdown of his career. There were a lot of firsts for Nichols in that first half, and in total, it equates to a 45-0 lead with 414 yards of total offense, including 230 through the air, 230 on the ground, I should say, 184 through the air. Very impressive all around for the Colonels. See what they've got for us for an encore of the second half. Back after this on ESPN Plus. This is the Southland Conference on ESPN Plus, back in beautiful Thibodaux, Louisiana. Home opener for the Nichols Colonels. And they have made a resounding statement early on. 45-0, they lead Mississippi Valley State. Second all-time meeting between the two programs. Ray Valley will send it away to Carrick Ross. And away we go with the second half. Ross, a dangerous return man. Makes a couple moves and slips down shy of the 20. And that's where MVSU will begin their first offensive drive of the second half. So you look at the numbers, everything is going to favor Nichols right now, as you would expect in a 45-0 game partner. Total offense for MVSU in that first half, 66 on 27 plays. How do they get into some kind of rhythm? It's got to start, obviously, with not turning the ball over.
Well, can't turn the ball over. You got to make better decisions with the ball from the quarterback spot, right? And I said it last half. There's 4 or 5 running plays you got. Let's hang your hat on them. 4 or 5 pass plays, especially getting the ball into your hands of your guys in space, which was their key. Let's run them. Let's stop with all the other extravagant stuff and just try to execute 4 or 5 things that we know how to do well.
Tijerian Williams takes the first snap of the second half, and he's looking to run and is tugged down after a very short gain. Might have gotten half a yard. That Nichols defensive front holding up well. There's a lot of guys in there who haven't played a lot of snaps so far this season. That's a banged up defensive front, and they're holding up well.
Holding up well, and again, they get home on the sack right there. MVSU gives up another sack. They've been plagued with that all year. And right now they have an issue. Something happened. I don't know if it's a personnel issue, but they're just, seconds into the second half, and they're wasting a timeout.
Yeah, they did gain just a yard, but we'll take a break. 30 seconds into the second half. MVSU, first offensive drive of the third.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
I have always enjoyed an active lifestyle, but the pain in my knees wore me down. The pain I experienced made it difficult to stand for even more than 5 minutes at a time. I was so tired of telling my grandsons, I can't play now, Nana's knees hurt. Then I had both knees replaced at Memorial, and now I'm back doing what I love, making pasta with my husband, hiking, and spending time with my grandkids. Next stop, Yellowstone. This is my life without joint pain.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nichols State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nichols State University.
Mississippi Valley takes a timeout 30 seconds into the second half after running one offensive play.
Yeah, I mean, it's something either miscommunication or a personnel issue or just trying to get your guys straight, and you got to give them a chewing because their body language just didn't look good. No telling what happened, why Coach Wade took that timeout. But
to say it's been a struggle for MVSU early on, not only in this game, but in the tenure of Kendrick Wade as head coach is an understatement. They're 1-13 in his time as head coach. Only win was against Arkansas Pine Bluff last October. They actually scored 42 points in that game.
Right, and look, he's the right guy, and he brings the right type of energy. He can get this program turned around.
Jet sweep, Nathan Rembert. Nichols read that one like a book. And that's a great play made in space by, Yeah, there's down to 37 listed on this Nichols roster. Someone might have switched a jersey.
Yeah, but there are a bunch of red jerseys getting out there. Rembert's a name we haven't called much for the Delta Devils, right? He's a guy that they've got to get the ball in the hands of. They try to do that right there in the jet sweep. Great pursuit by the guys in red.
Now, that was Hunter Addison, we believe. And a redshirt freshman from Stonewall, Louisiana. Tigerian Williams on 3rd down and 9. He's lofting the sideline, and he threw it out of bounds. You got to give your wide receiver a chance. And he didn't that time for Ross under heavy duress. And that's going to be another punt upcoming for Mississippi Valley State, which will be number 6 on the day for Alex Davis.
See, that's not Tigerian Williams' best thing to do, throw that ball deep. He's a downhill running type of guy. He's a short pass type of guy. When you're asking him to air the ball out down the field, he's going to overthrow that thing with, he has a cannon he can't control. He almost put that one in the ice chest over there, right? So, I mean, they're asking him to do the wrong things. Just let this guy do what he's good at.
Alex Davis has had a great day punting the football, and he sends away another boomer, and that one is muffed. Looks like Nichols was just able to hop on top of it. They had Karaz Johnson, a redshirt freshman wide receiver, back there to return. New Orleans kid out of St. Augustine. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, he did get a handle on it.
That's just a clean strip by Kyrie Langley.
Kyrie Langley, a freshman DB out of Baton Rouge, Scotlandville High School. There you go. Nice job by Kyrie Langley on the coverage. Gets his hands in there and gets that ball stripped out.
Christian Arsenault will begin the second half for Nichols. He's got Marquise Albert behind him. Arsenault, the redshirt sophomore from Berg out of South Terrebonne High. Hands it off to Albert, who plunges ahead for about 4 yards. So Arsenault, we saw him against LSU. He went 2 for 4 for 19 yards, long of 12. Of course, what an outstanding high school career he had. In 3 years, 3,500 pass yards, school record for career passing yards as well. And not to mention the fact that he's got a lot of lineage of family and went to Nichols. Brother Chandler, all Southland lineman at Nichols, won a championship in 2018 in the Southlands. His other brother Charlton also played, and his dad Gerald was a great tight end in high school back in the day.
Yeah, send that money and send your kids to Nichols, right? I mean, keep it in the lineage. So, you know, the deal about Arsenault is he needs these reps, and Tim Rebowe realizes that. He's got to get some guys ready. It's a long season, right? So let's get the guys some reps when you're up on the scoreboard like this.
3rd and 5 for Nichols. They were 5 for 8 on 3rd down in the first half. And that's another high snap that rolls all the way back inside the 10, and Arsenault did all he could to retrieve it and hopped on top of it. That's twice today we've seen a tough snap, and part of that is you got a young guy in there snapping right now in Josh Johnson and not Evan Roussel, your 4-time All-American.
Yeah. First of all, you got to snap the ball, right? You got to control the snap, whether you're underneath it or you're in gun, right?
Jacob Johnson, by the way, I mistaked him for his brother. His brother Josh is on the defensive line.
There
Jacob snapping that time.
You know, but you got to secure the snap, so I'm sure there's going to be a little advice given on the boundary when he comes over here to the sidelines.
Tim Rebowe, who doesn't need any shortage of things to tell his team about to get better, will have a couple more. And now it's a dropped ball in the end zone, and Dupree did all he could to just kind of get free, and he's loose around the 5, and he'll push ahead to the 7. So MVSU has a great chance now to get on the scoreboard. Ball inside the 10 on a bobble by Dupree, the punter.
Well, let me tell you something, all right? I don't care if you're up 100-0. As a coach, right now you're steaming, because what has happened is you've gone in at halftime and you've come out and you've laid an egg twice. You've lost focus. You just can't handle your kids, your players, losing focus. It doesn't matter whether you're in a 1-point game or you're in a 45-point game like it is right now. And he's going to be doing a little chill. I can see him steaming right now. He's wrapping that call sheet in his hands and he's wringing it out. Right.
Meanwhile, if you're Mississippi Valley, you got to find a way to get this ball in the end zone to
no
get
doubt.
a little momentum.
Golden opportunity right here for the Delta Devils.
Jaden Sisk has Jacoby Thomas to his right, pulled in a high snap, and Thomas is tugged down around the 5. And if you're the Colonel defense, here's a chance now to try to see if you can bow up and get a stop and force a field goal try.
Well, especially with some guys that haven't gotten a lot of reps in the past 3 games. They're getting some opportunity right now, so they get a chance to shine. They're getting a chance to shine not only in front of this home crowd, but they're going to get a chance to shine on that tape, right, which is going to be seen by those coaches tomorrow, and they're vying for playing time.
Brookins, bottom of your screens alone. They roll 6 to the right, throws end zone incomplete. He was looking for Kerrick Ross, who did a good job hurdling a couple of those signs along the sideline, and it's 3rd down and goal.
See, that's what 6 does well, is he can throw the ball. Look at him get on the move the pocket, just a little high right there, but pretty much at least it's in the right direction on target.
It seems to me that if a couple of these passes have been just a little bit closer to receivers, with how talented a few of these receivers are, they're just not being given a chance to catch the ball in bounds.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better. That's a perfect way of saying it.
On 3rd and goal, Nichols springs 4 to the end zone, incomplete. They were looking for Malik Antwine on a fade route. Good coverage all around from Nichols. Markevrick Eddy was over there. Some help from Shamar Carter, the safety, and it brings up 4th down and goal.
Yeah, nice little concept there. They call it a smash concept or a China concept. One guy stays low, another one runs to the corner.
He was open.
Oh, he was open. The ball needed a tad bit of air under it. They teach the quarterback to throw it to the pylon and the receiver to run to that pylon. Just needed a tad bit more of air.
Well, they're going to go for it with the offense on the field, and why not, on 4th down and goal. Trying to get points on the board, and now we have a stoppage and a timeout. On defense for Nichols.
When you're playing a lot of players and you're running guys in and out in a game like this and trying to make a lot of subs, you might have a problem of getting people lined up right or in the right position. So taking a timeout like this, they're reminding them right now, this is what we're going to call in this particular situation. Let's make sure we got our right personnel on the field. Let's make sure we all know what our assignments are.
Mississippi Valley, we've spoken about this. They start conference play next week, and they're going to have it at home in Itabena against Alcorn State, a 1-2 team. That'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff. So they'll finally get a home game after 5 weeks. They've got their bye week to follow. But they want to get on the board here on the road. 4th down and goal. Keep an eye on Ross, top of your screen. They motion to Rembert. 5-man Nichols rush, and that's not a good throw at all. I mean, even if Rembert catches that ball, he's probably shy of the goal line.
Correct. Got to at least put it in his hands to give him an opportunity, right? And that he just sailed that.
So MVSU gets gifted field position on goal to go and can't take advantage. A turnover on downs. Well done by the Nichols defense. Give them credit, too. And now a lot of the second-team offense is onto the field, and Ian Rodrigo had that touchdown run earlier. It took me a little while to find him on the chart. It was his first time taking a snap all season, and he ran in a touchdown from 34 yards out. So Ian Rodrigo, redshirt freshman, local kid from Thibodaux, and he bobbles the snap. So that's now back-to-back snaps that have been bobbled, one by the punter, one by your quarterback, and Tim Rebo, if he wasn't already, he's going to be just fuming on the sidelines.
Let me tell you what's going on that headset right now for the Colonels, right?
There's an injured player, by the way, for MVSU. You can talk about it when we get back. Take a break for the injury on MVSU. couple of bad snaps have not made Tim Rebo happy on the sideline.
Now, let me tell you what's going through those headsets right now, besides a few explicatives, right? But the bottom line is he is upset at execution, so he's ripping everybody. He's ripping his players. He's ripping the staff. He doesn't want to look like a team that's down 45-0, should I say.
Zion Reeves and Obi Arinze make the stop on Jaden Milton. And it brings up 3rd down and 7. So Ian Rodrigue trying to lead this offense that mostly has second-team guys out there. Now McMath has come into the game. He, Barnes, and Dufresne trips to the bottom part of your screen. On 3rd and 7, and Rodrigue runs. We know he can use his legs, and he cuts it back upfield. He's got a 1st down. Ian Rodrigue, a couple carries today for right around 50 yards. This kid's got some wheels.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I say he's got some jets, right? He comes off the zone read right there, and he just splits the 2 linebackers and picks up the 1st down yardage.
So his first touchdown rush went for 34. That one goes for 17. Handed off to Corey Warren Jr. He had his first career touchdown run earlier. That was a carry that ended up going for 28 yards. So the Colonels today with 6 touchdowns and a field goal. 4 of those 6 touchdowns have been on the ground of 20 plus. 2nd and 5. And here's another loose run for Miguel Brock. This guy is unstoppable. How about 68 more yards to the house? It is starting to get ridiculous. Miguel Brock, how do you do?
He was shot out of a cannon right there. Little crease. All you got to do is give him a crease. He creases it, and he's off. He runs away from those guys from Mississippi Valley who are not slow. This guy is having a heck of a day.
So you add in his touchdown run earlier, which went for 33, with a 68-yarder there moments ago. In his first time getting college carries, he's rushed it 4 times for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns, not to mention an 80-yard receiving score, 3 total touchdowns, 186 total yards. They have found a gem in this young man from Pensacola, Florida, the true freshman.
Breakout performance, right? Breakout performance. People are going to be throwing roses on the field after this game.
Counting out the touchdowns right there?
Yeah. Well, he should be happy. He's having a breakout performance day.
A touchdown run of 68 following his 80-yarder through the air and a 33-yarder on the ground earlier.
Look at the crease. Great job by the offensive line. All they needed to do was just give him a little bit of room, and he hit it. And he was off to the races.
That's a guy who, again, rushed for more than 4,000 yards in his high school career. Really, most of them coming over 3 seasons, but he has been dynamic and explosive. The exact words Tim Rebo said to us when telling us, hey, you can see this guy a little bit this week. He's a secret no more. Nearing 200 total yards. How about 3 scores in his debut getting carries? Carrick Ross from his 5 with a seam, and he breaks loose down the sideline and out of bounds right around the 43-yard line.
Carrick Ross has a little bit of wheels. He's done a nice job all season long for the Delta Devils returning kicks. He puts them in great field position.
Well, they've had that before. I mean, they had the ball at the 7 the last drive.
Yeah.
Couldn't capitalize.
A lot of New Jerseys out there in defense for the Colonels.
By the way, 307 rush yards today for Nichols as a team. When the Colonels rush for 300 or more under Tim Rebo, 16-1. And that is looking like it'll be 17-1 in about, what, 24 minutes time. Quarterback is Reuben Lee. Screen pass, Nathan Rembert. Good tackle in space by Marquivrick Eddy. And this is where you work on your fundamentals as a defense.
Well, Exactly. I mean, and these are things you do every day at practice, right? You got to be able to take on blocks, get off of blocks, read your keys. My eyes are going to make me do the right things. Then when I get there, I got to tackle. Fundamentals.
Trips top of your screen. Ball at midfield on 2nd and 7. 52-0 Nichols. Reuben Lee, long throw over the head of Rembert. He was wide open and just overshot him with Shamar Carter. Maybe giving him some footsteps in the background to listen to.
Look, Rembert, we haven't really gotten a chance to see what he can do when he gets the ball in his hands in the open field right there. They either sail him the ball over his head or something he can't catch, right? They'll hand it off on a little jet sweep. We've seen that once or twice. I would love to see this guy get loose and see exactly what he can do, because he has some wheels and he's got some moves.
On 3rd down today, they are 0 for 7. High snap pulled in by Lee. Crosser to Ross, and that was nearly picked off. Knocked away on a great defensive pressure in the secondary. Again, that's the guy we were talking about earlier, and Hunter Addison.
Well, kind of hung him out to dry. Hunter Addison blows him up right there. And then he also had kind of coming in from the backside was Jamison Lindsay, a 5'10", 175-pound senior DB, right? But pass not on target. That's hanging the receiver out to dry. You get hurt like that.
Punt number 7 for Alex Davis. The fact that he's averaging 46 a punt, considering his first one went about 26 yards, is one of the most remarkable stats I've seen. He has hit 4 of 50 plus, and he sends away another bomb that'll land in the end zone, so the net won't be great, but it'll go out to the 20-yard line.
This guy's going to have to ice his leg down tonight,
I was
right?
Say, he's been a hard-working dude on the field today for MVSU. Well, we said that we could see a bunch of Colonel quarterbacks in this game, and looks like Jacob Foss is going to be the latest to take over.
He's out of Huntsville, out of Alabama. Came to us here in Thibodaux by the way of Southern Illinois.
Yeah, this is his 3rd year in the program after spending his freshman year in Carbondale. Southern Illinois, of course, took care of Nichols in the opener of the FCS playoffs last year. Corey Warren Jr. tiptoeing the sideline out of bounds. Another big gain on the ground. And they just keep racking up rushing yards. 21 more for Warren. You look at the different guys who've gotten it done on the ground today. 109 yards rushing for Brock. 78 for Guggenheim, and now Warren's over 70.
Nice little jump cut right there. Poor leverage by the defender from Mississippi Valley, which was trying to get that number, Callie Bird. We're getting a lot of new jerseys on both sides of the ball now, guys, so we're having to look these things up real quick.
Warren Jr. bouncing outside, cuts it back inside, and he's got 7 more. Now this Nichols rushing attack has been something to behold in this game so far. That's going to be 335 rush yards now. They're averaging right around 9.5 a carry. Again, this is coming off a week where they rushed for 10 total yards. Now, if you take away quarterback sacks last week, they still only rushed for 60.
Yeah, Sac State did a nice job, especially with their front 7 against the Colonel's offensive line.
Well, they have found some things in a big way today. Miguel Brock again. Can he do it again? Oh, lowers the shoulder and his helmet gets knocked off. How tough is this guy?
Yeah, it was a little shoulder, maybe a little helmet to helmet down there, but he lowered himself down to take that on. But did you see watch how patient he is right there? They might have a little targeting. Oh my goodness, they might have a little targeting call there from the view we get from our end zone shot right there. What I was going to point out was how patient was he just to be able to let everything happen, and then he explodes through the hole. Nobody takes a look. That might get a call down late.
They're going to have to
from up in the booth.
And they're going to have to make sure that he's okay and can clear protocol to get back on the field. Here's Marquise Albert. Another jump cut by him with a flag down. This has been a very quiet game in terms of penalties. Just 2 penalties combined for 20 yards so far.
I think we're going to have a face mask here.
We've also got an injured MVSU Delta Devil down, holding his leg. Not a good sign there. That's Anthony Brown, backup linebacker.
Defense, number 92. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
DeAndre Clark Jr. gets called for the face mask. That's a guy who began his career at a different SWAC school at FAMU, Florida A&M, before coming over to Mississippi Valley State. And this certainly doesn't look good for Anthony Brown, one of their linebackers at the moment. And a 52-0 game with 6:10 to go in the third. If you're both teams right now, number one priority, get guys out of here healthy.
Yes, absolutely. You don't want to lose. You got a long season ahead of you, right? So you're going to see both teams get new jerseys, fresh jerseys on, giving them some opportunities. But yes, you do not want to lose anybody in a runaway game like this.
Good to see him up on his feet. He'll be helped off the fields. It's a Colonel offense that has been dominant. We've talked about it, 52 points on the board. Well, they had a game last year against UIW where we saw them just explode. That was really the kind of the season, I wouldn't say season-changing win, but the season kind of defining win in a way down the stretch of what they did toward the end of that season to go to San Antonio and put up the kind of rushing effort they did. I mean, this is a lot of what they did, but again, that was a ranked UIW team. This is a struggling MVSU team.
Right, and that's where you saw Jalen Spears really kind of implant himself as one of the best running backs in the conference.
And he and Guggenheim, both first-teamers last year. This is a better play on the edge defensively by MVSU. On the run by Marquise Albert, he doesn't get anything. So they try to stretch it outside. Clock will tick under 6 to go in the third.
Shuffling in running backs here and trying to use as much as they can off at the play clock.
Jacob Foss changing the play call. Corey Warren Jr. next to him. Foss to throw, and now tucks it down and runs. He's got a crease, and he's tugged down. A helmet flies off someone else around the 12. There have been a lot of helmets coming loose today.
Need to buckle up that chin strap, right?
Literally.
Yeah, Foss, that was all quarterback draw off the fake. It was trying to set everything up for him to just run up inside.
It'll be 3rd and 2. Colonels need the 10-yard line to move the chains to 1st and goal. A handoff to Warren. And he muscles over that big offensive line for a 1st and goal situation for NICHOLLS. So move the chains again. More positive yardage on the grounds. They are over 360 now for the day.
Things are also getting a little chippy out there on both sides. You don't want to lose anybody because of personal fouls also. So, you know, you can't let the ugliness come out. You know, I've been in situations where you're down 52. I've been in situations where I'm up 52. Everybody's got to keep their poise.
Handed off to Warren again. Pushes the pile down to the 4. Danye Brooks, by the way, is in as a wide receiver. Traylon Whaley seeing some time as well. One of the backup tight ends. And now they'll bring Marquise Albert into the game in the backfield with under 4 to go in this third quarter. 52-0 NICHOLLS leads.
Some new offensive line jerseys in there. Cam Banks being one. Cam Banks got a lot of playing time last year when the Colonels were struggling through some injuries on the offensive line.
And remember, right tackle Reed Lambert out today, so a lot of guys seeing time. Handed off to Albert, and he works his way down near the 2. Another helmet off. Another flag is down.
I think I just talked about that, right?
And then the kick of the helmet afterward, too. And Tim Rebo was yelling something. Well, you got a guy out there, and offensive lineman Hamza Rahman, who's putting his hands up like he didn't do anything, looking right at his head coach.
Well, he knows, right? He's pleading his case.
Redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge, by the way.
This might be offsetting both ways.
Getting a little chippy here late in the third.
Well, like I said, you can't lose your poise. I mean, here we go.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 63. His first towards Brooks Falls on occasion. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, that's the one thing goal to go you can't afford to do. So Hamza Rahman, who got the start today in place of Reed Lambert.
15-yard penalty.
right there.
Oh, my goodness. He's getting yanked around with the face mask. He retaliates. He shoves a helmet off. The other one shoves the helmet back.
That's Obi Arinzi, who he got in a tussle with. But if you watch after the play, too, he also kicks his helmet.
Kicks the helmet, right.
You can't do that.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. You know, I honestly, I think I would have called that both ways. I think
I'm with you.
I think Hamza got the short end of the stick there on the call, even though he deserved the call.
And now we got a flag down again. Tim Rebo was not happy with his officiating crew, and flag comes in around the 20. You can see him speaking his mind.
There's no foul on the play.
That was just a no foul call. He is heated.
I think he's sticking up for his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's sticking up for Hamza, you know, because he felt like it should have been at least unsportsmanlike both ways. You got to remember, you get one, it's basically the yardage and a warning. You get two, you're out. Right? And he doesn't want to see his guy get into that situation without the other team's player get into that situation. So I think he's just battling for his guy. Now, he will talk to Hamza Rahman about holding his water, keeping his poise, right? Because that isn't the way he wants his guys to act, as will Coach Wade talk to his guys. That's what good head coaches do.
So 1st and goal, make it from the 19. Rodrigue bobbled the snap, has a man open. That is one of his tight ends. And Logan Wilcox, senior from Raceland, able to take it down near the 10-yard line.
He's a Central Lafourche Trojan right down the bayou right here.
Guy's been around the program for a long time. So 2nd down and goal. Colonels get some of that penalty yardage back. Wilcox in his 5th year with the program. 2-time All-District tight end, also All-District in baseball at Central Lafourche. Jacob falls to the end zone, touchdown! The first one in the career of Karaz Johnson. Redshirt freshman from New Orleans reels it in and makes it 58-0 late in the 3rd. That's his first collegiate catch, and it goes for 6.
Foss puts it right on the money. Bad leverage by the defender. They run the slant route right inside. Defender did not have a chance. The cushion was too much down there inside the 10-yard line and allows Karaz Johnson just to run the slant, catch the football, and get his first touchdown.
Should mention, too, Jacob Foss, first touchdown pass as a Colonel. And now the extra point for Ray Valley. They've been perfect. Extra points and field goals today. It remains that way after some miscues over the first few weeks. Well, the first-time touchdown club continues. How about 4 different Colonels getting their first career score? Karaz Johnson, the latest, 59-0 Nichols.
I have always enjoyed an active lifestyle, but the pain in my knees wore me down. The pain I experienced made it difficult to stand for even more than 5 minutes at a time. I was so tired of telling my grandsons, I can't play now, Nana's knees hurt. Then I had both knees replaced at Memorial, and now I'm back doing what I love, making pasta with my husband, hiking, and spending time with my grandkids. Next stop, Yellowstone. This is my life without joint pain.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nicholls State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nicholls State University.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, What are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Another look here. Jacob Foss, first career touchdown pass goes to redshirt freshman Karaz Johnson.
Yeah, wide open on the slant route right there. Foss puts it right on his chest. Those are the type you dream about for your first touchdown, right?
Well, that's a guy who was out of New Orleans in high school. He had a sensational career. 650 yards and 41 catches at a high school senior.
Yeah, it's St. Augustine.
Yeah, it's St. Augustine, and obviously a very good program. Produces a lot of great players.
A lot of great players.
Foss, meanwhile, had a record-setting high school career of his own. Native of Huntsville, Alabama, out of Grissom High. Threw for about 3,600 yards in his high school career, and after not getting a whole lot of time at Southern Illinois in his first couple of years as a Colonel, gets a touchdown pass there. So you add up the guys who've thrown for their first career touchdown, rushed for their first career touchdown, or caught their first career touchdown, and you got 5 first-time touchdown scorers today, along with 2 guys who got their first career pick today.
Right, it's a day of first, right? Guys all over the place getting opportunities.
Good job there to score him free by Zamarion Kendall, sophomore from Memphis. Kendall was actually the highest rated signee at MVSU by 247 Sports until true freshman Joe Williams was brought in, both 3-star guys. The recruiting has started to develop, and look, it takes time when you're trying to build up a program that has, again, not had a winning season since 2006. I mean, they've lost 14 straight games away from home. They've started 0-3 for a 10th consecutive year. It has not been easy going, and that's a lot of violence from that Nichols defense. And if you want to see more time, you got to be bringing the boom for Tommy Rybacky, the Nichols defensive coordinator.
Well, they brought
Shamar
the boom.
Carter that time.
Yeah, Shamar Carter brought the boom. Hey, look, they're trying to get some great film of them, right? That's going to get graded high. All these guys out there right now are looking to play more snaps. So that's how you move up the depth chart. You prove yourself with the opportunities you get.
3rd down and 2. Mississippi Valley is 0 for 8 today on 3rd down. The average distance has been about 10 yards to get. Now this is a rare 3rd and short. High snap pulled in by Lee. That's a good job. But Kendall is stuffed in the backfield. Great pressure and a great stop right there. And there's an outstanding play. There's Tommy Rybacky, who leads this Colonel's defense. And what a job he's done over the course of his time.
Yeah, one of the guys, right. One of the guys that has stayed around all through Tim Rebo's tenure, correct?
He has. He's been with him the whole time. Destin Refuge, by the way, made that stop. Junior from New Orleans, who actually transferred in from Mississippi Valley State, laying the boom on his former team. Karaz Johnson, who caught the touchdown, is deep to receive the punt from Alex Davis. He has had to send a bunch of them today. He'll be icing the leg, as Wade said earlier on.
Look, this guy can kick, right?
I tell you what, there haven't been many bright spots. He's been one of them.
He's been a
had
bright
4
spot.
punts over 50.
Yeah, he
on
flips.
a day where he's had to punt 8 times.
Flips the field. Flips the field.
He's averaging 46.5 a punt. He may be one of the few guys to win Special Teams Player of the Week in a conference when you lose a game 50-0 or worse.
Right.
Now, meanwhile, quarterback change again. Christian Arsenault back on. They're kind of rotating the offensive systems now for Nichols. They can run one more play and take it to the end of the 3rd now with 25.8 to go, leading 59-0. The Colonels needed a get-right game, and they needed to do it at home. This is the only home game they're going to have until mid-October. Here's Miguel Brock working to the outside again, sheds more tackles, and he's still moving forward. That's probably the shortest run he's had today, and it goes for 6 more yards. And he is truly unbelievable. But he comes up limping. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, well, right now. Right now, I'd put him on ice, right?
3rd, yeah. And not sure you wanted to have him finishing off the quarter that way, but a lot of good stuff through 3 quarters for Nichols, including Miguel Brock How about 3 total touchdowns for the redshirt freshman? 59-0 Nichols after 3. Start of the fourth quarter, all Nichols here in Thibodaux in their home opener, up 59-0 on Mississippi Valley State. And it'll be a 2nd down and 4 play with Corey Warren Jr. Had his first career touchdown earlier, and he's got more yards on the ground here.
Hey, he's having a fun day, right?
He is. I'll tell you what, you got 121 yards on the ground for Miguel Brock. Corey Warren Jr. is going to join him as another 100-yard rusher.
Right. Huge day for the Pearl River High School running back. I mean, look, and he's having fun, right? That's and like you said, this is a get-right game. This is a get-right game for the Colonels.
So Nichols now has 54 100-yard rushers over the last 7+ seasons under Tim Rebo. Colin Guggenheim leads the way with 10 of those, but you add in 2 more today in Miguel Brock and Corey Warren Jr. Another carry here. It's Marquise Albert. The Colonels on the ground today are nearing 390 yards. It has been remarkable what they've done from the running back room to the offensive line play to pushing the pile, and now they'll be burning some clock as well.
Yeah, and let's mention this to start the game. Pat McQuaid was clicking. He and Quincy Brown were completely in sync with everything he was throwing and Quincy Brown was catching, right? So great play, you know, by Quincy Brown as well as Pat McQuaid. They're going to grade out well when they look at that tape tonight.
Marquise Albert breaking loose, 2nd level and a cut, and he's inside the 20. Inside the 25, I should say. So Marquise Albert gets 23 yards. He's closing on 100 too.
Yeah, he wanted a piece of that end zone action, right? His eyes got big when he got to that third level and he got drugged down from behind.
His long rush on the season coming in had been 14 yards. He doubles that up right there. And Nichols is knocking on the door of more points, trying to go over the 60-point plateau. 2 minutes into the fourth, 59-0. Arsenault with the controls. Another handoff, Miguel Brock, good to see him back in. Breaks off more tackles. He just does not go down on that first effort. It takes a massive humanity to bring the guy down.
Look at him, he's got a little bit of limp, but he doesn't want to come out.
5'9", 185, doesn't play like it.
Yeah, look at this. He doesn't want to come out. He says, I'm all right.
I mean, that's as relentless a runner as you'll see. You cannot arm tackle this guy to the ground. He's already got 3 total touchdowns. He's rushed for 127. He has totaled 204 yards of offense on second down and 10. It's Brock again, bouncing it outside, lowers the shoulder, and drags a defender with him down inside the 20. Now he's got a gain of about 5. It'll bring up a third down medium.
Yeah, a lot of new numbers in there, especially on the offensive line. Ryan Bernard, the younger brother. His brother plays on the defensive line.
Yeah, Zach Bernard.
Zach
and Ryan.
Bernard,
Yep.
Ryan, brothers on this team. Also a bunch of new jerseys in for Mississippi Valley State, too.
3rd and 5 for Nichols. Corey Warren Jr., the running back. Colonel's 7-12 on third down. They hand it off to Warren again, and he lowers the shoulder, and he's forward for a first down. He ran right over one of those backup corners, Donovan Green. Got the worst of that one.
Yeah, he trucked Donovan Green right in the hole. Here's another look at it. Watch him lower his shoulder. Boom, right there.
110 rush yards for him today. He's averaging 11.6 a carry. It's ho-hum when you think about Miguel Brock averaging 16.5 per rush. Colonels as a team, 8.8 per carry. They've got 436 rushing yards. If you're curious, their school record in a game, 518. Arsenault gives off to Warren again, bounces outside, and he reaches for the goal line. He's in for a touchdown. A second score today for Corey Warren Jr. His first 2 career rushing touchdowns. And it's 65-0.
Again, just bounces it outside. Nobody there to play leverage on the edge for the Delta Devils. Purfoy tries right there to bring him down, take his legs out from under him, but he just gets there a little too late.
He was a little slow walking off the field. Good to see him up and walking off under his own power. Ray Valley will come on and do the kicking honors. 65 points. I can tell you off the top of my head, this is second most points I can think of in a game in the Tim Rebo era. I believe it's the 3rd most points now in school history. 66-0. How about nearly 450 rush yards for the Nichols offense and 2 touchdowns for Corey Warren Jr.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nicholls State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nicholls State University.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
I have always enjoyed an active lifestyle, but the pain in my knees wore me down. The pain I experienced made it difficult to stand for even more than 5 minutes at a time. I was so tired of telling my grandsons, I can't play now, Nana's knees hurt. Then I had both knees replaced at Memorial, and now I'm back doing what I love, making pasta with my husband, hiking, and spending time with my grandkids. Next stop, Yellowstone. This is my life without joint pain.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking-glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
Well, all Nichols all day on the ground here this afternoon. 66-0 lead. They have totaled 6 rushing scores, 2 from Corey Warren Jr., first 2 of his career. How about 448 rush yards, partner?
Yeah, that's a lot, right? I mean, like you said, a lot of first and a lot of yards.
That is the most in the Tim Rebowe era now. Fair catch called for by Kerrick Ross. And that's saying something, considering how many rush yards they've had in various games under his watch. As a team now, in the Tim Rebowe era, we mentioned the number being 16-1. It's going to be 17-1 when they rush for 300 or more. I don't have for you how many times they've done 400 or more rush yards. It has happened on a couple occasions.
Oh, you do now. You know now, right? So there you go, my friend. All right. Make a note. I know you'll make a note on that one. So.
Well, no, I don't know how many times they've rushed for 400. I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have that handy, is what I'm saying. I can tell you that last year against UIW, what they did was awfully impressive, and they racked up in that game a bunch on the ground as Reuben Lee overthrows his intended target, Nathan Rembert.
I'm still waiting to get the ball into Rembert's hands in some sort of pass. I want to see this cat catch the ball in space, as I've said, and do something because, you know, in the words of Coach Wade, he is a game breaker, right? And I want to see him just kind of do his stuff, do his thing.
By the way, last year, season high in rushing in a game for Nichols was 349 against Lamar. They had 331 against UIW. So again, new single game high in the Rebowe era for rush yards. Reuben Lee, wide open man, and there he is. On cue, Nathan Rembert. You asked for it, and you got it. Breaking some tackles, and he steps out of bounds inside the 40. On cue, partner, makes a big play.
There we go. Nice pass, nice catch.
They double
Very
up,
nice.
They double up their biggest pass play of the entire game. Previously, it had been 26. That one goes for right around 50.
Nice protection, good job up front. Nice route. Rembert gets the ball, and then he makes a few guys in red miss. Breaks tackles. Scoots up the boundary for a few more yards. He's got a little shake and bake to him too. So I see why he is a game breaker.
Roll out for Lee. They want to design a screen. They've got it. Dump it out to Malik Antwine. And he's out of bounds. You're seeing some creativity now from this pass game. 16 more yards there. So 2 of their bigger plays of the game coming on this drive.
Yeah, they fake one way, the jet sweep, and they throw back the other way, the delay tight end. Slips out, gets behind a couple of blockers, and they have a nice pickup for a first down.
Rembert, by the way, was a Division II prospect. He came over from Edward Waters University in Florida, where he's from, and Antwine was at Northeastern State. Reuben Lee steps up to run, driven down. Nice tackle in space from Marcus Dickey.
Yeah, Reuben Lee's a junior. He came to Mississippi Valley through Norfolk State.
Yeah,
He's from Moss Point, Mississippi.
He was at Hines Point Community College to start his career.
Ah, there you go. Mississippi boy comes home.
Good play there by Dickey. Well, they have 23 Mississippi natives on the roster right now. I would assume the goal is to up that number, at least double it by next season. Lee pumping, looking to run, nowhere to go, and driven down A great play in space by Kylan White. That's a guy who's had to battle a lot of injuries over the last couple seasons, and he rips him down for a sack.
Yeah, Kylan White's career here has been kind of up and down, right? I mean, he's, you know, he was a starter at one time. He had a bunch of injuries.
Leading tackler back in 2022.
Back in 2022, leading tackler, as you just said. So he's kind of up and down, and he's getting his opportunity again right here. He's also a leader on this football team.
Another guy whose brother, Hezekiah, was a linebacker on the 2018 title team that won their first Southland title since '05. Pressure coming again from Dickey. Ruben Lee sets, lofts toward the end zone, and it's intercepted again. Another pick for Nichols, this time destined refuge. The junior from New Orleans, his first career pick as a Colonel. That's 5 interceptions today for Nichols. An interception parade, a pick parade. All Colonels in the fourth. You get a good look there at the Nichols football facility, the Book Vault Athletic Complex. Trey Buckvault, largest gift in Nichols history to donate that, plus the new covered practice facility, which is fully operational now. That's been something they've talked about for a long time getting here. And that truly, you know, Tim Rebo has talked to us about it and what it's meant to him and his players and recruiting. That is a true game changer, and you saw it in full use during the Manning Passing Academy over the summer. Really, you win at the level that this program has, and things start to follow. And they have come through in a big way. Has the community rallying around this program partner, and
right.
I mean, that covered facility with how warm it gets here. That again, a game changer.
Yeah, game changer. You got to have that, and stepping up their facilities brings in recruits. It brings money into the university. Look, everywhere around this campus here in Thibodaux, you see a lot of great things going on. A world-class culinary institution, a lot of things taking place, not just in athletics, but they all tie in together.
The only 27 we have listed on our roster is Gil Chapman, redshirt freshman wide receiver. So I guess he gets a carry. At least we'll assume so.
And he gets a stat. There you go. He's on the stat sheet.
Gets a college touch. 6.5 to go in the fourth. A 66-0 Nichols lead on Mississippi Valley State. Most points they've ever scored on a Division I opponent. This is Corey Warren Jr., and he's stuffed that time. Not a whole lot doing on 3rd and 4. So it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, some of these guys are getting their first stat, right? Like Rudy. You know, Rudy getting on the field, getting his stat, right? So there you go.
That too. Well, you combine, I mean, you look at the guys who've had first today for Nichols. Jacob Foss, first career touchdown pass. Corey Warren Jr., first 2 career touchdown runs. Miguel Brock, obviously first in his career. Karaz Johnson, first career receiving touchdown. And Ian Rodrigue, first career rushing score as well. Not to mention on defense, a couple of guys who had their first career pick in Dalmato and Keontae Williams.
Prior to the kick,
Mississippi Valley came on with 9 guys for that punt return team.
By the way, Dalmato, Williams, and Refuge with their first career interception. So guys with firsts in major categories, about 10 of them now. A lot for Tim Reba to like about this performance. 66-0, 5:36 to go in the fourth. Kylan Dupree only punting for the second time today. First one went 48 yards. He'll send it away to Nathan Rembert for MVSU. And this is a good one. Good hang time. Rembert waits for a fair catch. And Karaz Johnson, who caught the touchdown earlier, right in front of him, was ready to make a play just in case.
Well, he can catch the ball for a touchdown. He can also cover punts, right? Nice job. That's what you call a football player.
You want to get yourself on the field, you got to do it on the special teams sometimes.
No doubt. At every level. Every level.
Yeah, 49-yard punt, no return. So MVSU will take over, and who knows how many drives they've got left. You look at this team moving forward. We talked about them starting SWAC play in a week against Alcorn State. Alcorn 1-2 on the young season so far. Certainly a team that's trying to find their identity offensively. We know how talented the receivers are, but when you can't establish a run, kind of hard to get to them. Reuben Lee lofting for Rembert and almost picked off again. Oh, that was a good lunging play from Jamison Lindsay. We've called his name a couple of times. That's another guy who transferred in from Mississippi Valley State. Doing it to his former team again.
There you go. A little more air under that ball, you'd have had a completion. Trying to take the top off the defense. Rembert's got that speed. Rembert's a good football player.
I'll tell you what, this is a Nichols back end. You know, we've talked about Tyler Morton. That's a guy on the Buck Buchanan watch list for top defensive player in the FCS. He has not played the last 3 games. Yeah. Starting to see some guys showing out in the secondary. Malik Woodery also not playing today, one of their usual go-to corners who at least sees a lot of snaps. And we got a flag here and movement on the offensive line.
Yeah, as we said at the top of the show, you know, both teams have some guys banged up, and Nichols has a few guys that are key that are banged up, like you just mentioned in their secondary. But what Nichols has is they have some depth, right? They've got some depth that they've established. And Tim Rebo's not afraid to give those guys reps in serious situations to get them that game plan time, knowing that down the road you've got to count on these people to be able to come in and fill in for injuries.
They go under center with Ruben Lee. It's a rollout. Gooder getting rid of it. He does. Lofted it up for grabs and drops. Kendarius Smith could have tied the Nichols single-game record with his 6th interception, and it went right through his hands. That's one he wants back.
I'm going to send him down a sticky note. Let's tell him that, oh, look at him do his push-ups. I love it. Send down a note that you could have just tied the record. A little sticky note.
He knows he should have had it.
Yeah, well, he dropped and gave him
By the way, that's a guy who led the Southland with 14 pass breakups a year ago. He was terrific at East Mississippi in that category as well, yet he's never had an interception in his career. That could have been number 1.
Yeah.
3rd down and 15 to go. Ruben Lee, loft sideline. That one could have been picked off too. And Lindsey was there again. And they had 3 near interceptions on that drive.
Got a flag over on that boundary, some shenanigans going on as the play ended inside the Mississippi Valley Delta bench area. It'll be sorted out. You just hate to see these things take place at the end of a game that's kind of a runaway.
Referee again today, Maury Collins.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 29. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
So it goes against Lindsey. He doesn't come up with the interception, and then he gets called for the unsportsmanlike. Watch this again. Meanwhile, Rembert stepped right over him, and he retaliated. Often they get the second guy.
Oh, no doubt. And it could have been a few things that he said that the official heard that made him throw the flag, too. So
just more fuel to add to the fire for Tim Rebo and Tommy Rybacke for getting ready for a couple weeks' time when they'll take on Southern. Good catch and run here by Kerrick Ross. I mean, there are some pieces on this MVSU team. I don't think there's any question about it. The wide receiver lineage we talked about, that all starts with Jerry Rice.
Right.
Kendrick Wade has a couple of school records in his own right as a wide receiver. Rembert and Ross can play. They've got some guys. I mean, Thomas and Kendall are decent backs. You got to find a way to be balanced offensively, and obviously turnovers will kill you as a young team trying to find your way.
They've got to do something defensively. They're a little unsound in a lot of areas, and they've got to fix that as they head into SWAC play, right? Look, Coach Wade is the guy for this program. There's no doubt about it. No doubt.
Pressure coming here, and down goes Ruben Lee. That Nichols defensive front gets home once again. And this time, Christian Menino. First career sack for him.
There's another first. There you go.
Add it to the tally.
There you go. Good look at it. Menino gets there, cleans things up. But as I was saying, Coach Wade's the guy to run the program. He had to, as he told us, he had to make some changes last year in his first year. Some guys that he had to move out that just couldn't be in the program. So as he puts his blocks together, this program will continue to make strides forward. As you said, they have some of the pieces already in place with some of their personnel.
On 2nd and 17, Lee lofting toward the sideline, incomplete, looking for Tenoris Brookins the second. Remember, MVSU has only got about 80 guys listed on their roster, too. You compare that with Nichols, who was over 110 or so. And out of those 80, there's only 23 guys who are from in-state. So that's something that you figure is going to change here. Again, only year 2 under Kendrick Wade. Long way to go for this young program.
You got to remember, Mississippi has one of the best junior college systems in the United States.
Flags down after the snap was off. Rembert is grabbed and tackled, and a short play made in space by Hunter Addison again. We'll see about the flags. Out of Stonewall, Louisiana is Addison. North DeSoto High products.
You ever been to Stonewall?
I have not. Have you?
Yes, I have.
I figured you have.
Offside, defense, number 54, 5-yard penalty.
Offside's going to go on Marcus Dickey.
I've been to North DeSoto High School, so I know right where it is.
So we tick down towards 3 to play in the fourth. MVSU trying to find a way to get points on the board and avoid being shut out. This would be the largest shutout win in Nichols history if they can maintain it. Nichols jumped offside again. Free play for Ruben Lee. He'd just throw that ball out of bounds. It's going to be another miscue on the Nichols defense.
Yeah, they're gonna make a little change here on defense because they're not going to put up with jumping off on side.
65. 5-yard penalty.
So Menino giveth and taketh. He gets his first career sack and then he jumps offside, maybe for the first time in his career.
I'm laughing because that's just, it's typical. He runs past the defensive line coach, and the defensive line coach has had a couple words for him. Oh, brings back memories.
3rd down, 7 to go. They have not converted a 3rd down today. 0 for 11. And that's behind Rembert. It's been that kind of day.
Yeah, they've been pouring 3rd down all year.
Just a throw you got to be able to make. And Rembert was wide open, just sat down in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, they've only got a 37.5% conversion rate on 3rd down coming into this game. And today it's going to drop that percentage a lot lower.
2:41 to play. Again, the 2-minute timeout still awaiting as well. Fourth down and 7. MVSU will go for it here. Only a 3-man rush. Ruben Lee buying some time. Helmet flies off. Pass is caught. Rembert turns the corner. He's got a 1st down and more. Inside the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds by Shamar Carter at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, it's a good look at Rembert in the open field. Got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, first 3rd down conversion of the game. I should say, actually, there was a 4th down conversion. So they still haven't converted on 3rd down, but they converted on 4th for the first time.
Well, they've been completing 50% coming in here today in the past 3 games of their 4th downs. But what I like to see, I'll say it again, Rembert's got a little go with them, right? Little giddy up.
So fresh set of downs at the 19-yard line. Rembert has put together a nice day again. 6 catches for 78 yards. Actually, that catch actually put him over 100 for the day.
Mississippi Valley, their last.
6 catches for 106 now for Rembert. That's a new career high in receiving at Mississippi Valley. Last year at Edward Waters, Division II school, had 300-yard rushing games. 100 receiving games, I should say.
It looks like Nichols is at Southern in 2 weeks, right? And they've got the open date, which is going to help heal them up. And then they start conference play at UIW. That is a 6 o'clock game all the way over in San Antonio.
That's a marquee showdown.
Correct.
You think about the teams picked 1-2 in the Southland preseason poll.
Right.
Going to UIW for a 2nd straight year, it'll be another SWAC team in Southern, and then you get 3 home games.
3 home games. Northwestern State with a new coach, McNeese, who's playing really good football right now, and the old edition, back new edition, Stephen F. Austin, coming to Thibodeau.
And I think if you're Tim Rebo and you're this coaching staff thinking about having the bye week where it is, and the fact that you have another non-conference game before you begin Southland play, you're feeling good about that. A chance to at least get some guys healthy. Tygerian Williams rolls out, lofts toward the end zone, and that one is picked off. It's a 6th Colonel interception to tie the school record for most picks in a game, and it's Jamison Lindsay's first career interception. A half dozen picks ties the school record. What a day for the Colonel defense. Well, Jamison Lindsay with the latest of 6 Colonel interceptions on the day. The former Mississippi Valley State Delta Devil gets a pick against his former team. First one of his Colonel career. It ties the school record for interceptions in a game for Nichols with 6. They did it in 1978 against Tennessee Tech, 1992 against Central Florida, and now today against MVSU. How about that?
Day of first, right? A lot of first-time guys doing a lot of big-time things today. Nichols can kneel it out as Mississippi Valley State has no more timeouts.
Well, obviously a tough day for MVSU. They'll get ready to try to turn the corner and find a way to start off SWAC play well next week when they welcome in Alcorn to Itabena, Mississippi. Meanwhile, for Nichols, bye week coming up. I tell you what, if you're Tim Rebo, you're feeling on one hand, hey, I wish we could keep this momentum going. On the other hand, you got a bunch of key guys who've been banged up. With this performance, I mean, think about what Miguel Brock gave you today, what some of these other young guys, what Corey Warren gave you today, what Kraz Johnson, so many first-time guys on offense, so many guys on defense with their first career picks. Now you get a chance to get some of your main guys healthy. This is going to be a scary team come conference play when they started in a couple weeks against UIW.
Yeah, the break comes at the right time, a chance to heal some of these guys up, get some healthy limbs on them, and get ready to go up to Baton Rouge and see the Southern Jaguars.
They take a final knee. Pat McQuaid was very efficient. He was 15 for 20 with 2 scores. But the story of this game was the rushing attack. 455 rush yards, the most in the Tim Rebo era in a single game. They rack up 6 total rushing scores, 3 more through the air for 9 total touchdowns, and the largest shutout win in school history, 66-0. Nichols over Mississippi Valley State. The Colonels into the win column in impressive fashion in their home opener in 2024.
Yeah, get a chance to get right. They got right today. Mississippi Valley will go back to work. Those guys will iron things out as they head into their SWAC schedule next week.
That'll do it for us. For my partner, Wade Kaiser, our tremendous crew, led by Jeff Schneider in the truck and the entire crew, Jack Benjamin saying so long from Guidry Stadium. Final score again, Nichols 66, Mississippi Valley nothing. All games airing on the ESPN Network or streaming live and archive on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Nichols in resounding fashion. A shutout win to start off their home season.